Las Vegas tell you the whole story of their travel day yesterday. I just got a secondhand version of it through Richie, our program director.
Well, Alan's already in the pool.
Yeah,
he's giving a cribs tour of their Vegas Airbnb.
Yeah.
And he's in the pool. So he's already getting into
Alan's
character.
on vacation with a side helping of work. That's what Alan is on right now. And we'll just get to deal with vacation mode sizzle a little bit later on. But he and the entire Sactown Sports crew were in the building last night, the Thomas and Mack Center. So looking forward to hearing their perspective from being there on the game. The television perspective, there was some good. There was also some bad that we're going to get into. By the way, welcome into the Matt and Kayla Show, a new week here in Sacramento. I'm Matt George, Kayla Anderson with me, and big shout out to the foundation of this entire organization and station, Christopher Laud, who's doing double duty today, working 8 straight hours of live radio. He's board opping for us. I guess he drew the short straw or whatever it is that he has to do.
He's a trooper back there.
So shout out to Verlaud for helping hold it down. And he'll be instrumental, especially for our World Cup date, because I'll basically just be able to get out of the way and let the true soccer master of Sactown Sports tell us about what's really going on in the World Cup and beyond. So lots to get to today, but let's dive into last night's game. Kayla, the Kings suffer their first loss of the summer. Mm-hmm. They fall to AJ Dybantsa and the Washington Wizards after going 3-0 in the California Classic, winning their first Summer League game. They drop last night's game in the Thomas and Mack Center. Do we want to start with the positives of Maxime Raynaud's game, or do we want to start with the negative of Acuff?
It is a Monday. And to give people a little bit of, an energy boost or whatever you are doing, driving to work or you're at work, let's give them the positive news first. Okay. Although I like to get bad news out of the way, but let's go positive.
Okay, so we'll start with the positives, which is the game that Maxime Raynaud had. Max playing his first Summer League action, his return to Summer League. Remember, he missed all of the California Classic, and he was out the first Summer League game due to rest purposes because he was just getting back into the States after playing 2 World Cup qualifier matches for the French national team. Mm-hmm. He also has gotten very, very, very limited practice time. Did not get to practice with the team before the California Classic or anything. I imagine maybe only 1, if maximum 2 days of practice that he actually got with the Summer League team. What was the pun?
Maximum time.
Nice. Nice. I see what you did there. So this is someone who is obviously building off of the momentum of last year, which is winning or making an all-NBA rookie team or all-rookie team in the NBA. He was on the second team. And, first off, I don't know if it was his choice to play or if the Sacramento Kings asked him like they asked Nick Clifford, hey, we want you to play in Summer League. But credit to Max because, there are some second-year players like Derek Queen, for example, with the Utah Jazz, who are just straight not playing. And Max, again, played internationally, played on the or made the all-rookie team, and then is immediately suiting up and playing in Summer League. But 20 points, 7 of 15 from the field, 2 of 5 from three-point range, 12 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 turnovers, and a steal in his Summer League debut. I had a number of observations from his game, but on the surface level, that looked like an all-rookie player playing amongst rookies who knew that he was the better player last night.
Sure, and I kind of expected that, to be honest. We've said in the offseason, we wanted to see Max whenever we got to see him. First of all, he looks good. Looks like he is, I'm not going to say put on a ton of weight. He's put on some muscle. He looks good. He looks the part. And he was playing over there, so I didn't expect him to just be super rusty. Mm-hmm. However, you are with a new group of guys. There are new rookie pieces that you haven't even really practiced with much. Mm-hmm. So there was some timing things and some things. I think he started off the game with a turnover. There were some things that were okay, that's expected. But overall, Max out there looked like a guy who has clearly played a lot more NBA games. Yeah. And you just saw the confidence. I think that was the biggest difference maker too. Max looked like, okay, he's done this before. This isn't new to him.
Right.
While it might be for some of these other guys, one guy in particular that we're going to talk about in a minute. But I love to see it. Mm-hmm. And I didn't expect anything less from Max. There are still going to be second-year adjustments for the young man. Mm-hmm. But I do love what he is right now. I still think he has room to grow.
Yeah.
but I'm expecting more out of Max this year.
Summer League is different for every single player, but for a player like Max, who's coming off the year that he had, you want to see him use Summer League to show improvement in his game. And what stood out to me right away is we got to see Max and Dylan play together. So we got to see a little bit of that two-center lineup that we know with the Kings having three centers that they like in Sabonis, Cardwell, and Max. Those guys are going to have to share the court at times. And we've seen bits and pieces of Max and Dylan together during the regular season last year, but obviously going into year two, you want to see improvement. You want to see if it's going to work. And we always thought, well, if you're going to play a two-center lineup, somebody's got to space the floor. And Max took 5 threes last night.
I
and
know.
The majority of those looks
I knew you'd be happy about that, by the way.
And he had 2 of them, 2 of 5 from three-point range from Maxime Raynaud. That's candy to the Sacramento Kings. They would take that every single night. If you could screenshot that 2 of 5 shooting from three-point range and spread that out over the course of 82 games, that's phenomenal for the Sacramento Kings. And he shot the majority of those threes when he was sharing the floor with Dylan Cardwell.
Yeah.
Now, I'm very skeptical that Max and Domas can play together big minutes.
Because you're talking about the defensive
concerns, and I don't know which of the two of them is supposed to be spacing the floor. It's probably Max because he was the more reliable shooter in college, but he hasn't shot very much at the NBA level, and Domas is just not really a good three-point shooter or consistent enough three-point shooter. We feel, other than that one halfway decent season he had. I think that was Beam Team year 2. So I'm still very skeptical about that. But again, Summer League is the time to experiment with things. And one of the clear experiments was, we're going to play Max on the perimeter a little bit more and get him some good looks, and he knocked down a couple of them.
Yeah, I love to see it. We talked about it all last year, that maybe that wasn't something they were trying to have him do last year, because I don't think he was ever expected to be in that role last year. With Domantas Sabonis going down, they just wanted him to get in there and to be experienced and get that experience, and that wasn't really part of what they needed him to do last year per se. Now I think that they can maybe experiment a little bit more with, hey, you did it in college. Obviously, we know he has a shot. So can we get him? Can we experiment a little bit more now that we have a little bit of a different roster? I still expect them to do it in the regular season to start the year.
Yeah.
I still expect at some point we're going to see maybe him and Domas out there. Now, it might turn out disastrous because there was going to be a big dip defensively, because we even saw it in this game when they took Dylan out of the game.
Yes.
We saw a little bit of a lack with the defensive side from Max.
Yeah.
So while there is going to be experimenting, I don't know how much that will last with Domantas and him, but I loved when him and Cardwell were out there. By the way, Cardwell, I just have really enjoyed watching him this summer so far. I know there's things he needs to do better, but defensively, it's really been fun watching him. And I think slowly but surely he's getting more comfortable with those shots.
I think it would be an absolute nightmare to start Max and Domas together, especially for starting.
I don't think they'll start them.
I sure as hell hope not.
I don't think so.
I just
especially if you have Levine and,
because it was obvious. And this is not all on Maxime Raynaud, but this is just who Max is as a center, and Domantas Sabonis is the same way. When Dylan Cardwell and Max were on the floor together, the Kings had a little bit of an interior defensive presence. When it was just Max on the floor and Dylan was out, defensively the Kings were a nightmare in the paint. Because Max just doesn't, that's not his game. He doesn't change shots at the rim. He doesn't block shots. And while Max has done better with his physicality, he's not the presence in the paint that Dylan Cardwell is.
Yeah.
Now, Dylan told us directly during the California Classic, I got 10 fouls. I'm going to use them. When you come into the paint, I am going to foul you, because my goal is for you to know that you're not going to get any easy shots in the paint. You're not going to punk us, because the Kings at times were destroyed in the paint physically last season. It's not going to happen again. And any guard or any player who comes into the paint is going to know that you're going to pay for it. You're going to get hit.
yeah.
And I understand a lot of people saw Dylan Cardwell get 9 fouls in game 1 of the Summer League and go, yo, but you got to learn how to defend without fouling, because you're no good to anybody if you're on the bench because you foul out in 15 minutes. And I know Dylan understands that, but Dylan very clearly is trying to set a tone and set a precedence in the paint in Summer League. And to his credit, he had 5 blocks last night, only 4 fouls. So he did a better job of not fouling. But when Dylan was out of the game and Max was in the game, the Kings had no physical presence in the paint, and it showed because the Wizards dominated the paint when when Dylan was not in the game.
Yeah, and again, you're working with a limited roster right now in terms of who's actually going to be out there, and not all these bodies are going to be in the rotation, right? Mm-hmm. So, and I think it's something Max has got to try to continue to work on. I don't think it's ever going to be what we'd love it to be, because I just don't think that that's his game per se. But these are the puzzle pieces you got to try to start fitting together if you're Scott Perry and Doug Christie. And it still doesn't look like it's going to be an easy job.
No. Last night was a reminder of a couple things defensively. Number one is the interior defense is still going to be really bad when Dylan Cardwell isn't on the floor. And even when Dylan is on the floor, he's still a rotation role player.
Exactly. He's not a starter.
A star rim protector. And yet. Hopefully he can turn into something.
I can tell, though, that man,
he's
been putting in the work.
The other thing last night was a reminder, and I know AJ Dybantsa is the number 1 overall pick, and I think AJ Dybantsa is a future superstar. He just looks incredible.
He does.
But the Kings still absolutely have zero answer whatsoever for long athletic forwards.
They don't grow on trees, Matt.
Just get cooked.
One thing.
They just get cooked by these long athletic forwards. And we'll talk about Neek Clifford and the job he tried to do defensively on AJ, because I thought Neek put in a hell of a shift. But in general, last night's game was a reminder that with the big club, there's still going to be 2 primary problems on defense, and we saw them in Summer League. One thing I didn't see enough of yesterday, that this is why I hope that Max continues to play in Summer League, because I want to see more of this. I didn't see nearly enough pick and roll between Max and Darius Acuff Jr. Not nearly as much as I thought I would.
But don't you think that's just because they haven't been together as much in practice?
Well, yeah, I would assume so. But at the same time, okay, now that's the time to do it.
Yeah, because we don't even know if Max is going to play again.
Max excelled in the pick and roll with Russell Westbrook. We know that Darius Acuff Jr. is capable of being a good pick and roll point guard. He did it at Arkansas, and he was developing good pick and roll chemistry with Darius Acuff Jr. And I don't know if it was because the Kings were trying to get Max more comfortable in other areas, like spacing the floor, and then they also ran Max in a very Domantas Sabonis-like role where they had the ball running through him a lot at the top of the key and the top of the three-point arc. So maybe that was more of their focus, but I want to see more of the pick and roll 2-man game between the two of them. I don't care if it results in turnovers. I don't care if it results in the wrong decision between the two. I want to see them get comfortable, and we're going to see more of that in training camp and stuff. So I'm not hitting the panic button or anything, but it was like I found myself watching the TV, yelling at the TV, going, pick and roll between those two. Let them work together, and we just didn't see it enough.
I don't think you're the only one that wanted to see that, but I don't know if there was any question asked about that after. That would have been a great question to maybe ask somebody.
Coach, maybe?
Yeah. If that was something that could have been part of the game plan, or is it in the game plan moving forward? Because again, like I mentioned, I don't even know how much Max needs to play moving forward in Summer League, or if he is going to play. But that is guaranteed one thing that they are going to start working at now that Max is here and able to get more reps in with Darius Acuff Jr. I think it's very, very important that they are able to do that. But there's so much on that list probably that they want to see from these guys individually. Maybe that just wasn't part of the plan with this first game with Max back.
Let's hear a little bit from Maxime Raynaud post-game. He spent about 4 minutes with the media. We won't play the first or all 4 minutes, but here's the first minute or so of Max talking about his performance. Oh, hold on. We're getting it queued up. Just a second. I did not warn Christopher Lott at all because, once again, I'm bad at my job. When we are ready to rock, here we go. Here is Maxime Raynaud after his first Summer League performance.
I felt it right. I mean, obviously my first game back in the States, so I got to get in a little bit better shape. Overall, we put some good sequences together, but we didn't put 40 minutes together, so that was our issue.
Double out there tonight. Clearly no signs of rust. What was working so well for you?
There was room for like 28 and 17, and I mean, it was not up to my standard. And then I guess we just played together, honestly. We were able to attack downhill a little bit, find some extra passes, shots were getting in, so yeah.
You talked about what it would be like to play with Darius, but what was it like to actually go out there and play with him?
It was good. I mean, he's very talented. Obviously, I think it's really hard for him to have the whole defensive scheme oriented around him, right? They're trying to deny every pass back. They're trying to deny every wide screen, every handoff. So it's a little bit hard to get him going when that happens. But he's extremely talented. He showed it on some sequences. He was able to create for others, create for us, create for himself. I think it's just going to be positive as we move forward. I hope we can all learn from this game and move on.
So I know the audio messed up a little bit there in the middle after ABC 10's Kevin John's question, but he was asking about the numbers that Max had and the good game on paper that Max had. And I like that Max essentially, again, all these guys hold themselves more accountable and hold themselves to a higher standard than we can really realistically hold them to. He said that game was not up to he expected more. He should have had more. Sure. You can tell that putting up just good numbers individually is not what's at the top of the mind for these players. From Acuff, how much he's held himself accountable. We didn't hear from Acuff after this game. Would have been interesting because I felt this was truly Darius Acuff Jr.'s first bad game. But he always talked about, I got to be better, but at least we got the win. And Maxime Raynaud clearly had a good game, but is not happy because the Kings didn't win and wants them to learn from it. So at least there's definitely more of an expectation changing amongst these young players that we got to be winning every game that we're playing, and especially in Summer League.
Yeah, it's not for them right now. While we are looking at it as individual performances, a lot of this because we're trying to evaluate, especially some of these rookies, they're looking at it as a team thing. How are we playing together as a team? What are we not doing that we've been asked to do and not executing it? There's clearly another agenda for them when it comes to the Summer League. And by the way, this was their first loss in Summer League play going back to the California Classic that was right here in Sacramento. So I'm sure they'll go back to the drawing board and figure out. I did not think overall this was a great game for the Kings. There were individual performances that I thought needed to be better, which we're going to talk about Darius Acuff Jr. Y'all know that I'm a big proponent of his, but I'm not afraid to shy away from when I don't think people or players give their 100% effort.
Yeah, we'll talk about Darius Acuff Jr. in the next segment because there's a lot to talk about with him. Last thing on Maxime Raynaud. Should he play another Summer League game in your mind?
I would selfishly, Matt, I want to see Max out there, but I understand if they decide to hold him back because I do think he's done enough this offseason to kind of say, by the way, he was second team rookie all NBA team. He doesn't need to be out there per se. I think he might play one more game, but that's probably it.
Yeah, I feel like if he's going to play, it's only going to be one more time. The argument for it is you get more court time with Acuff specifically, which is what I want to see the most. But also, you get an environment where, and Max is not a selfish player by any means, and he knows he's got teammates and different players to get involved. But comparing this to what training camp and preseason is going to be, you have more of a green light here than you're ever going to have. Yeah. So
who's up next for them?
They have on Tuesday. They have Boston on Wednesday. On Tuesday, I know.
I couldn't remember who the Tuesday matchup was.
They have Brooklyn. They have the Nets.
They have the Nets. So
Nets on Tuesday.
That'll be fun to see.
Michael Brown Jr.
We
hope. We were supposed to get in the Classic and we didn't get it, so we'll see. But yes, I would like to see one more game of Raynaud. But if the Kings were to be like, yeah, you're good, I wouldn't be shocked about that at all.
I wouldn't
because
either.
he doesn't look like he needs it. He showed us a lot in that game. Still other things that I want to see more of. He also showed us some post moves. We got to see a little bit of back to the basket game for Max. Now, he unfortunately missed a couple bunnies at the rim after making some good moves.
Though.
But yeah, he showed some good progress.
Yeah.
Again, we're going to talk about Darius Acuff Jr. in the next segment. I don't want to squeeze it in here going right before the break. So let's talk about Nick Clifford really quickly.
Okay.
17 points, 5 of 13 from the field, 2 of 6 from three-point range, 4 rebounds, 4 assists, 5 turnovers. That number's not great. Also had a steal. We'll talk about offense first. He continues to show really good aggression, attacking the rim, attacking the basket, decisiveness. That's the number one thing I wanted to see from Nick.
More confident.
Yes. That's the number one thing I wanted to see from Nick in the summer. And he's showing that to us. Maybe not completely at the level that we want, but most of the time when the ball is in his hands, he knows what he wants to do with it. And that's a big jump considering where he was his rookie year.
Yeah, I think the big thing we talked about last year was once he got those minutes and he knew he was going to be getting those minutes, we wanted to see, okay, you need to start being not as timid and kind of taking that confidence and bringing it to your play. Mm-hmm. And I do think now we are seeing that. I feel I'm watching a different Nick Clifford out here in Summer League than I was last year, even, towards the end of the season.
Yep.
Now, does it need to clean up? Does his game need to be cleaned up? Yeah, you mentioned the turnovers. I think those types of things, that's going to come with more and more time. Mm-hmm. But I think the first thing that I am going to say, I know it's step by step, is I like the aggressiveness we're seeing out of Nick, because we didn't see it as much last year.
We've been asking and trying to look for, what is going to be the main thing that Nick brings to the Sacramento Kings? You don't have to be a one-trick pony by any means, and Nick's very much not. He's a Swiss Army knife. He can be used in so many different ways and impact the game in different ways, which is very valuable. But what is going to be that one, top NBA skill in that area where it's every single night I know this is what Nick's bringing? Mm-hmm. And we thought, hey, maybe that could be on the defensive end. Well, Nick got the opportunity to be the primary defender against AJ Dybantsa last night. This is a mismatch because Nick is 6'6". AJ Dybantsa is 6'9".
6'9".
And he's long and can shoot over the top of you. And I give Nick credit. He definitely tried to pick up full court with AJ, tried to just get up in his grill, bother him, make him uncomfortable. AJ very much won the matchup. AJ also had a pretty favorable whistle last night, but also
lack of effort though.
Nick definitely not a lack of effort.
Man.
Nick worked. Even Emmanuel Sharp got some opportunities to work on AJ. That's a huge mismatch. And Emmanuel Sharp at nothing else. Hey, let's throw another look at him and make him and frustrate him a little bit. I'm surprised we didn't see Jonathan Mobo get a lot of opportunity guarding AJ. But regardless, AJ cooked. He did his thing. The Kings didn't have too many answers for it. But Nick took on that defensive challenge. We learned some things. He put in a good shift. But ultimately, if your answer when the Kings play 6'9", 6'10" guys is Nick Clifford, Kings might be in trouble.
I think the chat just, kind of reminding us, Drew Down, obviously saying Kings defense is going to be ugly this year. It's going to be a work in progress, that's for sure. They don't have all the pieces they need yet to be able to play that type of defense they want to play. And they don't have necessarily the size either. So
Sean Maller in the comment section saying, Matt G wanted AJ Dybantsa so badly. You're damn right I did.
Yeah, he did.
And we can see why.
I think we all did.
We can see why. He's a freaking superstar. He's going to be amazing, and shout out to him. We'll take the break. When we come back, Darren, let's try again. Darius Acuff Jr., one of the damn top rookies. Darius Acuff Jr. had what I felt was truly his first bad game, and it wasn't so much his continued inefficient shooting, although I know some people are concerned by that. The defensive effort last night was not great. We'll talk about it and get your thoughts on it. 916-339-1140. Matt and Kayla just getting started on a Monday right here on Sactown Sports.
After a promising rookie season and an appearance in the FIBA World Cup qualifiers, Maxime Raynaud made his presence felt at NBA Summer League. Has the reigning all-rookie second-teamer shown he can be a key offensive threat alongside Domantas Sabonis this season?
Your exclusive home for Kings basketball.
Sactown Sports 1140.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Bonnie.
I'm meteorologist Kelly Curran in the KCRA 3 Weather Center. Mostly cloudy skies again today. We'll see temperatures topping out in the mid-90s this afternoon with winds out of the southwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA 3 News and the KCRA app.
Oh, the Sacramento heat. Right now, get your AC professionally tuned up for as low as just $59 and enjoy your summer nice and cool. Plumbing, electrical, heating, and air, Bonnie.com. Summer restrictions apply. License 696-355.
You bought an RV, and you got an automatic discount from Progressive by bundling it with your home or auto insurance. That's great, but a serious word of warning every RVer should heed. You don't need to talk about things like dry weight or dump stations. And you don't need one of those expensive water filter straws either. Because the most extreme thing most RVers encounter is a campsite without hookups. So just enjoy yourself. And Progressive's automatic discount when you bundle your RV, boat, or motorcycle with your home or auto insurance. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Not available in all states or situations.
Get in the zone. AutoZone. Summer's finally here, and we're kicking it off with a whole lot of free. Free brake pads with Duralast rotors. Free oil filter with 5 quarts of oil. Free Armor All wipes with Armor All glass cleaner, and more. More free, so you can have more summer. Celebrate free at AutoZone. Now through July 27th. Restrictions apply.
Get in the zone, AutoZone. Is the volatility of the stock market driving you crazy? Is your retirement account sinking, yet you're getting older and you're starting to worry about, will I have enough for retirement? What about the money in the bank? These banks pay nothing these days. How do we get growth to get to retirement account? It's simple. Move into gold and silver. Want to know how to do it? Listen to my show, Striking Gold, with me, Kenny Michaels.
Card collectors know there's nothing as special as a rare one-of-one card. And now you can hear a very rare one-of-a-kind sports card show right here on Sactown Sports. Whitey Gleason here inviting you to join me and Mr. True Sports Cards himself, Imran Pilati, for the True Sports Card Show every Saturday morning at 10 on Sactown Sports. It's the only sports card radio show in the nation. For all your hobby needs, get to True Sports Cards, 6661 Stanford Ranch Road in Rockland. And for hobby, insight, and fun, join us for the True Sports Card Show Saturday mornings at 10 on Sactown Sports.
Carmichael Dave here. So proud to talk about my new friends at Pest Pros. They are family owned, they are locally rooted, and they are committed to serving Northern California. I got a mouse problem at my house, and I don't like mice. I got a cockroach problem at my house, and I don't like cockroaches. That's a real thing. You're going to get pest protection somewhere. Why not get it at a place that is locally owned and operated? Longtime King fans and partners, and the community, yeah. You've spoken. They're back-to-back Sacramento favorites. So if you got pest control, you don't have Pest Pros. Step up to the pros with their all-star lineup. Don't just make the call, make the right call. Go to pestprosps.com, Sacramento grown, family owned, or call them at 916-588-9345. That's 916-588-9345. Step up to the pros at Pest Pros.
If you have unfiled taxes or are in debt to the IRS, this is important news. Did you know the IRS has programs specifically designed to help people struggling with tax debt? Powerful tax assistance programs that can save you thousands if you qualify. No one knows these programs better than the experts at Optima Tax Relief, America's most trusted tax resolution firm, A-rated by the Better Business Bureau. Their award-winning tax attorneys and licensed professionals have resolved over $3 billion of tax debt for their clients. One call to Optima can start the process, helping to put an end to your worries about wage garnishment, asset seizure, and other aggressive IRS actions. Find the best options to solve your tax problems. Call the experts at Optima Tax Relief today for a free consultation.
Call 800-375-2922. 800-375-2922. 800-375-2922.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Matt and Kayla on Sactown Sports 1140.
You know, in Summer League, you can expect players to struggle at times. Darius Acuff Jr., I would say, has struggled more than probably you would like your top rookie to struggle in Summer League. However, the struggles are on different levels and have been given different labels. He has been inefficient. Mm-hmm. Up until last night's game, he had been inefficient, and a lot of those inefficient games were labeled as bad games, which I disagreed with because I felt that he still made an impact in other ways. He showed positives in most of those games, but overall, the shooting, which I know is his primary skill that he's bringing to the table out of Arkansas, was inefficient. I wouldn't put those as quote-unquote bad games. Last night's game versus Washington, I absolutely would classify as a bad game. I'm a little bit surprised about something, though, Kayla. Okay. And I know, listen, social media is not real life. Our comment section or our Twitter or our text line is not necessarily real life. I'm a little surprised about the amount of negativity or panic from Sacramento Kings fans about Darius based off of the game that he had. Are there things to be concerned about? Sure. Are there things to be very critical of? Absolutely, which you're going to hear some criticism certainly from me, and already there's criticism out there about his defensive effort in last night's game. I know Acuff was a polarizing pick, and the Kings being at 7 was a polarizing pick. I'm already seeing, though, the reactions of fans who just kind of expect things to be bad.
Yeah.
To a point where they're almost like not celebrating, because that's not true, but like, see, told you, based off of a summer league game. And I'm like, listen, fan how you want to fan, react how you want to react. That's certainly not this. We're talking about a rookie who's played 4 games. We just need to chill out a little bit.
Let me give you reasoning behind this, why I think this is happening. And again, being someone who is newer to the market, I've been here almost a year now, but I am understanding how the fans are because it's such a passionate fan base. By the way, who gets a lot of national attention for being a great fan base. So you can never say that people don't think the Kings are a good fan base. That is nationally talked about, as it has been the whole Summer League broadcasts. I think that what I see is because this was such a interesting draft in the way they did not tank, there were so many opinions, polarizing opinions on that, and then there were polarizing opinions on who you should take at 7 because it is a spot that people could maybe go another different guard or another different position. There are a lot of things leading up to the draft that people were polarizing their opinions on in terms of the Kings fan base. And the biggest one that we really saw throughout the whole time was there were big Darius Acuff fans and there were no, don't take him fans. So I think right now, early on, because maybe they're not seeing the immediate like, wow, ooh, ah, of Darius Acuff, that those fans are projecting a little bit more.
Yeah.
And we're hearing more from them.
And I'm not saying the criticisms aren't warranted.
It's okay.
Because he's struggled a lot. And last night's game was not good.
I'm not saying nobody's warranted to those opinions, but it is also because this is such a polarizing time with the Kings organization and where they're going. Like, we're going to hear about this for a minute. And it is a year where we're going to see ups and downs. And there is going to be adjustment in terms of an adjustment period. What I'll say about Darius Acuff Jr., I was actually not concerned so much so with the previous games with the inefficiency, because even other stars in the league, if you go look at their numbers, they weren't super efficient.
Right.
So I'm not going to be worried about that. He was making a difference for the most part in those games. But in this game, I saw Darius Acuff Jr. come out that didn't seem very confident, that seemed to, once he made a mistake or once he didn't hit a shot, kind of was down on himself. He actually was on the bench for a minute from part of that first quarter into the second quarter where he wasn't even out there. And when he came back, because I think it was John Wall who said, look, one thing that this young man needs to do right now is he needs to start like playing like he wants to be out there. Because he's right. At times I was like, he was kind of jogging to the other end. Like there was just a lackluster type of feeling about his play yesterday. And I don't know what was going on. Maybe it was something that we don't know about because he didn't talk after the game. But no doubt in my mind, we saw a Darius Acuff that wasn't his best. And I'm sure he looked at tape and saw can't do that again.
12 points, 4-14 from the field, 0-4 from three-point range, 1 rebound, 4 assists, 5 turnovers. That's something that he did not do at Arkansas, was turn the basketball over, and he turned the ball over a lot. Now, to be fair, the Wizards were playing very physical with him, and it definitely impacted him. But the one thing that we're not going to do, because I don't believe Darius Acuff is going to do it, is make any sort of excuses. Again, he's been more critical of himself after bad games than anybody, or after games, even games that I thought were okay, and wins than anybody else has been critical of him. So we know the standard that he holds himself to. From the text line from the 530, Matt and Kayla, what's up with your boy Acuff? 28% shooting, 0-4 from 3, 4 assists, 5 turnovers. Spin that stat line. That's Joe from the 530.
Yeah,
Again, this is the stuff that confuses me, though. There is no spinning going on here. There is do you want to be right, or do you want the Sacramento Kings to be good? I'm not saying that Joe is actively rooting against Darius Acuff Jr. I don't believe he's doing that. There is no spinning going on. There's recognizing and not overreacting to anything overly positive or overly negative from the Summer League. we've been consistent about the games that he was struggling, being inefficient. I haven't liked some of his shot selection. I think he's been trying to force some things and be who he was at Arkansas in the NBA. And he's going to learn by doing that. There's levels to this, right? You're not going to be able to get all the looks that you were able to generate for yourself naturally at Arkansas. Does that mean he's going to be a bad player? Absolutely not. He just has to figure things out. On the flip side, I've felt that for the most part defensively, he's shown effort. But we didn't see that last night. Last night, he had a number of breakdowns, number of moments where like AJ Dybantsa blocked him for 3 and beat him down the floor. He had a possession where he had a lazy closeout on a 3-point shooter, and the Kings got stuck in rotation, and Emmanuel Sharp was left on an island, and the Wizards swung the ball on the perimeter to an open shooter that Acuff could have tried to get out to help recover for Sharp. He didn't even try to do it. And then he got knocked down on the floor the next possession going for a bucket. I think he should have been fouled, but whatever. It takes him 9 seconds to get back down the floor where the Kings are playing 4-on-5 defense. Like that kind of stuff isn't acceptable. Yeah. That kind of stuff can be criticized. But that has not been what he's been throughout the summer league, nor has he been the guy going post-game going, yeah, I shot the ball 29 times. Oh, well, if he were acting that way and the Kings were pretending like he wasn't inefficient, then it would be a problem, but it's not.
One more thing. There are and again, you just heard me say this. I did not like his play last night. I did not like the lack. I just felt like it was lacking effort. I did not like it. As much as I love someone, I'm going to criticize them when they need to be criticized. But what I will say is there are also new pieces being put in. Like you have Max now that's in. He's kind of built a relationship out on there with Dylan, but now Max. Let the young kid learn.
He's 19 years old.
Let him learn.
He's 19.
Give him a little bit of grace. You can still be critical in terms of game-to-game breakdown, but to say he's a bust right now, like let's be careful with that.
People are going to overreact. It's part of the game, but it's okay. It's okay. There's no spinning happening. He had a bad game. He knows he had a bad game. Everybody knows he had a bad game. I understand all of us want him to have a good game next time to make us feel better, and hopefully he delivers that. We'll talk more, of course, about the Kings in their Summer League performance last night. We still have to talk about Jonathan Mobo. I have audio from John Wall talking about Darius Acuff Jr. and how good of a player he has the potential of being. We'll play that at some point in today's show. We'll take the break, though. Coming up next, it's Monday. It means it's time for Q&K with Kayla Anderson. We'll have that when we come back, plus a very special noon hour for you. We'll tell you about it when we return. It's Matt and Kayla on Sactown Sports.
Sacramento's young talent is on full display in Las Vegas, and Kings two-way forward Jonathan Mobo continues to make his presence felt as he continues to make an impact around the rim, on the glass, and as a shot blocker. Will the young big man play his way into a larger role this season?
Your exclusive home for Kings basketball.
Sactown Sports 1140.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
I know that hiring can be challenging. You need someone to match your role perfectly. Well, now you can meet them fast on ZipRecruiter.
Build your team, build it sooner. Meet your match on ZipRecruiter.
Just head to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try it for free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Meet your match on ZipRecruiter. Try it free.
Tired of hearing scary radio ads about the IRS? Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000 or $500,000, we have a solution. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS with zero risk to you. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with a BBB. End your tax nightmare today by visiting TRA.com or call 800-583-6681. That's 800-583-6681.
Power Business Technology is proud to be a 100% independent, locally owned and managed Toshiba copier dealer. Local ownership cuts out the red tape, allowing ourselves to never be too busy to personally answer the call when our clients need us. Recognized for excellence in service execution, training, and customer service, we're proud to be named a Toshiba ProMasters Elite dealer since 2021. Contact us today for all of your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BZ. That's 844-769-3729, or visit us at powercopiers.com.
This is the story of the one who keeps multiple buildings running smoothly day after day. Plumbing that flows, HVAC that hums, cleaning supplies that keep surfaces sparkling. That's why she counts on Grainger. With easy reordering online and 24/7 support, Grainger helps her keep the products she needs on hand. So shelves stay stocked and buildings stay ready. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
If the world were like a Sleep Number mattress, everything would adapt for your comfort. Your coffee would never get cold. Your flight would always be on time. And your mattress would always respond to you and your unique sleep needs. Sleep Number mattresses are designed to respond to your body and shift with your changing life, helping you fall asleep faster and stay asleep longer. To experience a whole new world of comfort, visit a Sleep Number store or go to sleepnumber.com. Sleep Number, to a good life sleep.
With 25 award-winning years in Northern California, Ashton & Price is your local injury law firm. Pro attorney tip: if a firm presents as local but they're in LA, red flag. If your first consultation is not with a lawyer, big red flag. At Ashton & Price, your first consult is with a local attorney, and if serious injury prevents travel, a lawyer will come to you. Still not enough? George Washington's my uncle. At Ashton & Price, no red flags, just red, white, and blue.
Remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton & Price.
Hey, I'm not one to say I told you so, but do you remember last year when I told you that Pure Talk was hands down the best wireless company that I'd ever used? Well, some of you were skeptical, but Consumer Reports just asked 120,000 people to rate every wireless company in America, including the big boys. Well, guess which company was the only company to get 5 stars in every category? Yeah, Pure Talk. Coverage, support, value, data. 5 stars across the board. No service contracts, no cancellation fees, just great U.S. customer service on a crazy fast 5G network for a fraction of what you've been paying. I'm not going to say I told you so, but I will encourage you one more time to dial pound 250, say micro, and switch to a 5-star American wireless company that won't let you down. Pure Talk.
And we're live from the living room as Doug eyes up the matchday spread. He's reaching for the Buffalo wing. Perfect. Hang on, what's this? Oh, he's gone for a can of Pepsi too. Incredible. What a finish. Sensational combination. Look at the delight on his face. There's no doubt about it. It just tastes better. Match days deserve Pepsi. Food deserves Pepsi. Grab a pack of Pepsi Zero Sugar for today's match. It's poetry in motion.
It's time for Q&K. Kayla's got questions. We've got answers. It's Q&K on Matt and Kayla.
Kayla, if you don't mind, really quickly, before we get to Q&K, I want to let our audience know the exciting thing that we have going on at noon today.
Mm-hmm.
If you aren't familiar with the Kang Gang podcast, you should be. These are 3, I think it's sometimes 4, like they have a bunch of dudes, and they were just in Las Vegas. Diehard Sacramento Kings fans who said, you know, we're going to do our own thing. And they started this podcast that they have their own little studio, and they talk Kings basketball after games. They do funny, hilarious parody songs. They had Dylan Cardwell in recently. Brad Miller in recently. Just the epitome of what makes Sacramento Kings fans so great. And they're also very knowledgeable, obviously very passionate, and I've really enjoyed following them over the years and watching them grow. They're doing incredible work. They're going to be joining us in studio for a whole hour. They just got back from Las Vegas, so we might need to get them coffee or something. But they are going to be with us for a full hour starting at noon. Very excited to have them in. Love those guys and looking forward to chatting with them. Now it's time for Q&K
Yes.
with Kayla Anderson.
All right. So over the weekend, this isn't just sports related, but I'll tie it in. So over the weekend, we obviously had the Conor McGregor UFC 329 fight card against Max Holloway. He clearly lost in the first round. Supposedly suffered an injury to his right knee just seconds in. And clearly that's it. That's what you get.
He threw a kick.
Yeah.
He threw a kick and that was it.
Right. The whole build up to you. And by the way, there were some big time people down there, not just for Summer League this weekend, but for this fight.
Yeah.
And to see it kind of end like that was a bummer. Then in New York City, you had the Jay-Z concert going on.
Yeah.
And it was delayed for several hours or a few hours due to security concerns.
Yeah.
But all in all, it was a mess.
Yeah.
And there were people tweeting left and right about it.
He
the
took
lines.
the stage after midnight.
That's insane.
The concert got done after 2 a.m.
Right. So with these two kind of things that have happened over the weekend, we all know both took a lot out of the paycheck to probably go to these events, unless you were a media member or you just get the hookup. But the average spender is spending a pretty paycheck on it. So my question to you guys is, should in some way in these type of situations, you get some sort of compensation from the event because it's still making a lot of money? Or is it just kind of like, you got to take it, it's your own risk?
Yeah. I completely understand the outside perspective when it's not you of, hey, you get what you pay for.
Yeah.
Right. And there's no guarantee, especially with like a fight. There's no guarantee. It could be over like, remember the Conor McGregor Josie Aldo fight, right? That ticket was insane. People were buying pay-per-views left and right, and it was over in seconds because Conor just knocked him out. Like that. That's part of the fight game. And to some extent, you're like, whoa, what a moment. I'm getting my money's worth. But seeing now the last two fights for Conor McGregor, both of them end abruptly. Conor shattered his leg in one of the fights. And then it looks like he tore like his ACL or something, throwing a kick to start. I know there's conspiracy theorists out there going, oh my God, he was already favoring his knee before getting into the octagon. Was he hurt in the first place, but still did this to get the money? I don't know all the answers to those questions. But I think it's very easy to say, you get what you pay for. Sorry. But if you're in it, like if I'm going to a concert and for whatever reason, and Jay-Z explained that apparently there was a security issue outside of Yankee Stadium and people were trying to get in and fight their way past security to like get in, and he was worried that if I took the stage and started playing music, that there would be a mob of people trying to get in.
And I get that because we all know what happened with what was the big tragedy down in
Mexico City?
No, in Texas. The Travis Scott tour,
the
Astroworld, because that was like a documentary and that was awful. I watched that whole thing.
Yeah.
So you got to be careful. I understand.
But at the same time, if I have like stuff to do the next morning and I paid for a concert that was supposed to start at 8 and it starts after midnight.
That's crazy.
Like I'm sure there's dotted lines and
Matt.
And just stuff like that. But I think at some point, with how expensive these events are, there should be some sort of system in place to. I don't know about the Conor McGregor fight. That one's like the fight game is the fight game. Anything can happen. That's part of fighting. But at least in the case of a concert that goes 3 hours late, or when we had famously here in Sacramento in the Golden One Center with Kanye West just ended his show early.
I forgot that was here, you guys.
That happened when Kanye West just decided, show's over. I think there should probably be something in place to protect people financially and get them a return.
Because it's a lot of money to go to concerts these days. I have a couple on my list I want to go to, but I just like literally can't afford to go. But they're on my bucket list. I'm sure Jay-Z was on a lot of people's bucket list.
Yeah.
I mean, they got to see the concert, but they're probably half asleep.
They're still probably sleeping now.
Probably.
2 a.m.
What do you think, Chris?
It's a city that never sleeps. They should be used to that.
Good point.
That is a good story
good
right
point.
there.
There you go.
Storyline.
All right.
So, yeah.
But
that was interesting.
That Conor McGregor fight was like, I didn't watch it because I was like, I'm just not. I don't think I even have Paramount Plus. So I was like, I'm not going to pay for it, whatever. I'll just see highlights on. Their only highlight was that Conor just hurt himself immediately. Okay. Apparently he's going to Try and come back.
What I got out of it is the highlight was Sophie Cunningham doing the round one.
Oh, the ring girl.
I
yeah.
think that's what I got out of it was from social media is that she was the highlight.
Her walking the ring probably lasted longer than the freaking fight did.
Mm-hmm.
Jeez.
She got her steps in.
It's a bummer, man,
That's for
because
sure.
I know Connor's obviously a very controversial figure. He's very polarizing, especially when he steps into the octagon. But 2 fights in a row now where you didn't even get knocked out, you just hurt yourself.
And he's like, I'm gonna go get surgery and I'll be back in the. I'm like, bruh. At some point, which brings me to another question, really quick. Serena Williams in Wimbledon last week had to exit early because of a knee issue.
Yeah.
She was trying to make her comeback. Conor McGregor, the knee injury. At some point, father time does catch up to you.
Yeah, and it sucks.
And this is when I feel like this is the one time I'll say with athletes, because I am a huge champion of athletes. But at some point, sometimes it's just like you can't go back.
We had 2.
It's okay.
Yeah, we had 2 major returns to the octagon this year. One ended super quick because Ronda Rousey just won immediately, and everyone's like, okay. And then there was this Conor one where he hurt himself immediately, and everyone's like, okay. And the same thing with Serena. Now, I loved seeing Serena play. I loved seeing her back. She's the GOAT, and she's amazing. But, yeah, seeing your favorite athletes get old and have to pass the torch is a little difficult at times, but
it's okay to hang it up.
It is okay. We'll take the break. When we come back, we can get back into Sacramento Kings talk. The Athletic put out their NBA offseason grades. What grade did they give the Sacramento Kings? We'll have that for you. We do have to talk about, too, this Bam Adebayo versus Tyler Hero altercation that happened in Las Vegas and how Draymond Green and Udonis Haslem inserted themselves into the mix, which is even more polarizing than the quote-unquote fight itself. We'll talk about that when we come back. It's Matt and Kayla on Sactown Sports.
SactownSports.com is your online home for sports in Sacramento. Dive deep into the Kings, 49ers, Raiders, Giants, Athletics, and more with your favorite local personalities and some of the most trusted sports voices in the community. Stream Sactown Sports 1140. Watch original video content and read in-depth analysis all in one location. SactownSports.com. Your local sports leader. Sactown Sports 1140.
Someone had a birthday.
Yep, 50. Can't believe it.
50 years of wisdom.
Great segue. We have a health reminder from the CDC.
Pneumococcal vaccination is recommended for adults 50 or older. Says here, we're over 6 times more likely to be hospitalized with pneumococcal pneumonia than adults under 50.
I don't love those odds.
Same. Look what I found. Pfizer's Prevnar 20 is proven to help protect adults against pneumococcal pneumonia and invasive pneumococcal disease in just 1 dose, and millions have already gotten it.
Continued approval may depend on a supportive study. Don't get Prevnar 20 if you have a severe allergy to its ingredients. A weakened immune system may lower your response. Common side effects include injection site pain and swelling, fatigue, headache, muscle, and joint pain. For full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138. Visit Prevnar20.com or talk to your doctor or pharmacist.
I'm on Prevnar20.com now, scheduling my appointment.
Good idea. And happy 50th.
Country in the Park 2, presented by your California Army National Guard, October 23rd at Heart Health Park at Cal Expo with Bailey Zimmerman, Russell Dickerson, plus more. Enjoy line dancing, live DJs, mechanical bull, and food trucks. Tickets start at just $70. Country in the Park 2, October 23rd at Heart Health Park at Cal Expo with Michelob Ultra, the California Office of Traffic Safety, and Caltrans. More info at CITPFest.com.
Only one radio program captures the excitement of hunting and fishing as it happens. The award-winning California Sportsman with Sepp Hendrickson. Only California Sportsman takes you where the action is, live on the water, live in the blind, and live with the top pros and experts in outdoor sports. California Sportsman with Fishing Hall of Famer Sepp Hendrickson is your premier destination for all things outdoors. Sepp's Saturday Morning Outdoors. Ultimate Bass and California Sportsman, 5 a.m. to 8 a.m. Saturdays on Sactown Sports 1140.
Now through July 26th at Big O Tires, get $200 in savings on 4 select Michelin or BF Goodrich in-stock tires with installation purchase. Disposal fees extra. Savings include $120 instant plus $80 rebate. Not good with other offers. See Vigo dealer for pricing.
KHD HD1 Sacramento. KYMX HD3 Sacramento.
Sactown Sports 1140. Your local sports leader. It's Matt George and Kayla Anderson on Sactown Sports 1140.
I would say for the most part that Sacramento Kings fans are re-energized by this offseason that the Kings have had. And while we knew that the Kings were going to be limited in what they could do, they still have managed to breathe a little bit of life and certainly a little bit of hope back into this fan base, to say the absolute least. Now, I know this fan base. I love this fan base. Grew up amongst this fan base. It's not hard to get us back in. It's really not, because we love this team so much, and we so much of our lives is revolved around supporting this team. And I have no doubt that in October, when that opening night happens, that Golden One Center is going to be off the hook, and throughout the season, fans will hopefully continue to show up to support what I believe is going to be a more exciting group, younger group, that is going to be establishing more of that identity that Scott Perry has been talking so much about. But in general, this offseason, I feel, has been positive. But what did The Athletic think of it? The Athletic, their entire staff, worked together to give grades for every single team's offseason. And a familiar face here in Sacramento, Jason Jones of The Athletic, formerly of the Sacramento Bee, was the one in charge of the Sacramento Kings grade. And he gave the Kings a C.
Okay.
This is what he said. I'm a little surprised by this, but this is what he says. There's little the Kings could do this offseason. They have one of the highest payrolls, but one of the worst teams in the league. True. Zach LaVine opting in for his $49 million salary for next season was expected. DeMar DeRozan was waived, and the team traded Devin Carter to help alleviate the financial constrictions, but it's only a start. Their biggest win of the offseason was Darius Acuff Jr. being available with the 7th pick, but resetting the Kings roster for the future is a multi-offseason project. So how I interpret it, and I could text Jason right now to get more of his thoughts on it, but how I interpret it from Jason is there's only so much that realistically they could do. So how can I give them a better grade than a C, which is passing average grade, because they're so limited in what they could do? I personally would have given them maybe like a B minus, just because of the Acuff pick and the draft that they had and the excitement. They're moving in the right direction. But in Jason's point is, yeah, but how much can they really move because of their financial situation?
And I get that point of it. I definitely, some people are tougher graders than others. Him being here in his career before, I'm sure that is part of it too, because he has seen that in the past sometimes they can't get out of their own way.
He's familiar with that.
But I do think Scott Perry's moves thus far, what he could do or what he can do at the moment, there have been really positive moves that have given the fans some hope. And like you said, the excitement of just coming in and seeing some new bodies this season. Now, I think the big reason why the grade is what it is exactly what you said. They just can't move off of some of these pieces that they know eventually they're going to move off of. And at that point, it almost like frees up everything to really allow them to get this roster to where they want it to be. But because we are talking about Domantas Sabonis still being here, the big one, Zach LaVine still being here, you can only do so much with how this is going to look next year, at least to start the season.
TC, I see you on hold. We'll get to you here in just a second. Some of the teams that got A grades, just scrolling through, the Dallas Mavericks got an A grade, mainly because of the hiring of Masai Ujiri to run their front office. And then their hiring of their head coach. Other A's. There's not a ton of A's. I'm surprised by this. The LA Lakers got a B grade.
For what?
Mainly, they get high marks for choosing a definitive direction. All right.
What, because they let go, or because they parted ways with LeBron, which was
parted
pretty
ways
much
with LeBron and went and got their center.
It was LeBron's choice.
They got younger. They got deeper, basically. That's why they get a B grade. All right. Miami Heat get an A-, and I agree with this first line. Trading for one of the 5 best players in the world without giving up your best player is an undeniably great move.
Sure.
True.
Yeah, and they beat out Boston. And
Yes.
right now, that looks way better than what Boston did than getting nothing really of a big return for Jaylen Brown, who went to Philadelphia.
If you were to guess, and I this makes sense, but if you were to guess the team that got an A+ grade, who would you just throw out off the top of your head?
For this grading?
Yeah, for the offseason grade.
Oh, geez.
Like, who thinks someone who made a big move that we didn't really see coming?
Oh.
It had to do with Boston.
Wait, they gave Boston?
No, it had to do with Boston. No, Boston got...
Oh, okay. I was like, Philadelphia.
Philadelphia.
Okay.
Yep. The Celtics, by the way, got a C- grade.
Good. That's deserved.
I'm surprised it's not lower, to be honest with you. Yes, the Philadelphia 76ers got an A+ grade.
All right.
New president of basketball operations, Mike Gainsey, came in and promptly turned Paul George's contract into Jaylen Brown. And there's more to it, but yep, an A+ grade. And the final A grade, by the way, there's 2 incomplete grades. That's the Pelicans and the Raptors. Both got incomplete.
Well, I wonder why incomplete on the Raptors, because that deal isn't even done yet, technically, with Kawhi Leonard.
The final A grade was an A- given to the Washington Wizards.
Yeah, that's fair.
They got AJ Dybantsa.
That's absolutely fair. I wouldn't have even been mad probably if they gave him an A.
I think, in a weird way, I think what maybe drove it down to an A- was the Trae Young contract.
Yeah.
Because it's expensive.
Sure.
It's expensive.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see how that plays
And
out
again,
in the long run.
they still have AD, which is to be determined how much he will play.
Right, we'll see what they do with that.
So,
Those are some of the offseason grade. Again, the Kings got a C grade from The Athletic for how their offseason has gone. Let's get to TC. I know TC wants to chime in. What up, TC?
Kayla, Matt, what's up?
Hi, TC.
Just vibing. Listen, so I'm not worried about Acuff. Acuff is still a guy. Acuff is going. If you want to worry, hey, if we're worried about it, if we want to talk about anything, the things that we should be talking about is Caravan. Caravan, I'm trying to figure him out. Not really athletic, kind of looking kind of tired. I know he had the injury, but my boy's looking super old. What they say, he was 24, and I'm looking at him last, and I'm like, bro, look like he like 33. He moving super slow. Like his jumper failed at one time. I'm still trying to figure out Caravan. Also, Max Raynaud, he's not sitting out the rest of the summer league. I really don't want to hear any of that. He's playing. He needs to develop camaraderie with the teammates, but he also needs to develop on his end, trying to block shots and also work on his game. He's not fully developed. And is it just me? With him coming back last night, I feel like that messed up the chemistry. I know the guy had an off night, but Max, and I know you want to come back, but, bro, that kind of screwed everything up. And I believe Cardwell will be a better center next to Acuff. I know we want Max, but I believe that defensive tenacity that Cardwell brings, we need that from our 5 spot next to Acuff, bro. And also the Domont Sabonis with him popping up. That's what I was looking at. I'm not worried about Acuff, bro. He will be fine. That's all I got. Thank you, guys.
Appreciate you, TC. Thanks for the call. Lot to react to there. First off, with Alex Caravan, I was very happy to see that first shot go in, that 3-pointer that he hit, and it was a tough shot, and it was
This
nothing
is
but
first
net.
of Summer League.
Yeah, it was the first bucket.
Yeah.
And remember, he didn't score a single point in his summer league debut versus the Clippers. Knocked down his first shot last night, and that was about it. I don't know what to make of Alex Caravan so far. I think they're incorporating him. Yes, he's an older rookie. Of course, he did a lot of winning at UConn. I look at Alex Caravan in these first couple of games, and I see somebody who's just trying to figure it out and find their way. I'm ultimately not going to react overly negative. It's more fun to react overly positive to things that we see that are good, like Jonathan Mobo, for example, and I'm enjoying that. So I'll definitely lean more towards overreacting positively than I'm certainly going to overreact negatively. If you wanted to see a little bit more from Caravan in these first 2 games, I don't blame you. I'm not worried necessarily. I just don't exactly know what Alex Caravan's role is going to be in Sacramento yet. And we'll see if he can figure that out more and they can establish that more as Summer League goes on.
Yeah, look, I get why some fans are a little concerned because, again, you traded up to get him, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they identified something in him, and we have heard time and time again that big identifier was he's a culture changer. He's a guy that's won 2 championships at UConn. And all of that stuff, I think, will be over time important. He has a lot of tread on the tires. Mm-hmm. There's no doubt about that. And I think TC mentioned, not the most athletic, a little bit slow. I'm interested to see how they incorporate him. Mm-hmm. I think first and foremost, he needs to get going. Mm-hmm. And I think with the injury kind of happening early on in training, with the training before California Classic happened, maybe put him back just a little bit. So I'm interested to see once he gets going and the rust starts to shake off, what he looks like. It's to be determined for me just because I haven't seen enough. But I'm not going to sit here and jump to conclusions.
It's funny. TC and I kind of had similar thoughts. I felt bad for Max a little bit last night because the Kings are 4-0 in the summer. Max comes back, and after all the losing Max did last year, he has a good game, and the Kings lose. And it's like, okay, What was different? Oh, Max is there. Most people are not drawing that conclusion. I'm certainly not, and I don't think TC is either. That wasn't the point of TC's call necessarily.
He was kind of joking about it too.
But there is something too. Like you could definitely tell Max being back kind of threw some things off. Acuff did not necessarily know how to play with Max as much as he has learned over the last couple weeks how to play with Dylan Cardwell, and this is the time for them to work through those kinks and figure those out. At the same time, Max is coming back, and Max knows that there's expectations internally of him. He obviously wants to work on parts of his game. The Kings, I'm sure, are asking for very specific things that they want him to work on. And I don't know how much Max cares at all about the exterior noise, but imagine if Max had come in and tried to fit with the Kings California Classic / Summer League team more than what he performed last night. People then would be coming on the airwaves or texting in criticizing like, well, this is the time that you're supposed to look like a second-year player and showcase a little bit more, right? It's like damned if you do, damned if you don't. Mm-hmm. I saw Max do a lot of good things individually. I saw more of the same concerns about him and his rim protection. I agree with TC's belief that a defensive-minded center like a Darius Acuff, like a Dylan Cardwell might be better in terms of archetype and fit with Darius Acuff Jr. I think the Kings need just more rim protection, period. That's not Max's game. But where Max can thrive with a point guard like we saw last year is in the pick and roll. And the Kings did not do that enough in last night's game for my liking. I would like to see them work on that. And if Max plays on Tuesday, showcase that two-man game between the two of them a little bit more.
Yeah, and I don't know their practice schedule to a T, but I do believe like just having him there, getting in more time with Acuff, with those types of situations. Mm-hmm. There's no doubt if Max does play on Tuesday, I would think we would see more of that. So
I would hope so.
Now, if not, then I'm kind of wondering what exactly the plan is.
I do think, too, like, I think Acuff also has to realize that Max is not Dylan Cardwell. And what I mean by that is Acuff knew that a lot of the pick and roll with Dylan, unless he was throwing a lob over the top or dropping the ball off to Dylan for a dunk, there were limited offensive options with Dylan. And that's just part of his game, right? Dylan is going to continue to work on his touch around the rim. Max is different. And you could tell that, I think there was an observation, I can't remember which Kings fan tweeted it out, but I thought it was spot on watching the game last night, was like Acuff needs to realize that he can give the ball to Max a little bit more. He doesn't have to force these looks. If the defense crashes on him, hey, give that ball to Max and let him work in space. He's really good in that sense. So Acuff also needs to kind of learn about the differences and get a feel of the differences between Max as an offensive player and Dylan as an offensive player and how much Acuff needs or doesn't need to do.
So that, while you just laid all that out, it makes me feel like with Acuff coming in as a rookie and learning not only, hey, this is the next level, right? And I know this is Summer League. This isn't even NBA full rosters yet. He is, though, learning about like what they want him to do in this offense. Now, we know what he was drafted to do, but there's going to be different pieces that are put around him moving forward. I mean, we're not even seeing all the pieces put around him yet. Right. That's going to be the start of the season and in training camp. I feel like right now, as much as Acuff, he's a tough kid, and he will say like, I'm not fazed. It doesn't bother me. I will say right now, I think things are a little overwhelming right now. And for the part
that's not good.
No, but I'm not saying it. I mean, that's in any job. Like in any, you come right away and you're being told like, okay, now he's a part of the lineup. Now he does that. Like there's a lot coming at these young guys, especially point guards.
Absolutely.
So I think sometimes are overthinking it on the court. And that's kind of maybe the more explanation I want to say. Maybe not overwhelmed, but I think he's overthinking some things.
That's fair.
Do I pass it? Because he has made it prominent and very clear that he wants to be a passer, right? He wants to be a playmaker just as much as a shooter. I think he's second guessing in some of these situations too.
A lot, not just last night, but throughout the summer that we've seen Darius. I would sum up a lot of his games. He's looked like, well, I'm a scorer and I'm supposed to score and it's my job to score, so I'm going to go and score. And I think what Acuff is learning, and like, I don't know about you, Kayla, I'm a learner by doing.
That's how I am.
You can sit me down and put a textbook in front of me
matter.
and I don't retain any of that ish. I have to do it.
It's kind of our job to do that too.
Very much so.
Right.
And I don't know if Acuff is that way or not. I mean, I'm sure he's good in film. You have to be good, a good film study. As a point guard, you obviously have to be very smart and understand the playbook and what your coach expects of you. So there's other elements beyond just learning by doing. But I think when you have had the game that you've had growing up, and especially at Arkansas, he became a phenomenal shot maker, but could also get a lot of looks that at the NBA level, they're just not going to be as good of looks and as efficient as looks. And the defenders you're facing are going to be more physical with you. And the physicality seems to be what's bothering the most. You're going to face longer defenders. Yes, he played against 7-footers in college, but these are 7-footers trying to figure out how to move both feet, not 7-footers in the NBA that know exactly what they're doing. And granted, he's not even facing that yet because he's in the summer league. The overall point is I see someone who is figuring out what's a good shot, what's not, how much I can rely on just my natural, innate, God-given ability to just make tough shots, and how much I need to limit taking tough shots and look for better shots for everybody else. I just see someone who's working through it.
Yeah.
That's where the inefficiency doesn't bother me. What did bother me was the effort on the defensive end. But the inefficiency truly doesn't bother me. Do I want to see a breakout game where he scores 30 on 15 shots? Hell yes, I do. But the inefficiency, this is the time to have it. I don't want him to be this efficient game 40 of his rookie year.
And you mentioned before, even the 2 games before this one, is you'd like his shot selection to be better. And that I know that is something that I've seen other people, chime in about too. I'm curious as like how much time that will take.
Yeah.
And
it's also how much will it help when he's playing with the big club? How do they help generate better shots for him?
Right. Because, again, this is not the big club roster yet.
Like, in theory, playing with Domas, because we saw that moment in Game 1 of the Summer League when he ran off of a Dylan Cardwell screen, drop-off pass, Acuff got a wide-open 3, knocked it down. Like, playing with Domas will help him. But also, as you know very well, so much of his game is let me go create and get a bucket for myself. And the Kings need that from their star. And we're seeing him in real time figure out, okay, I can go and get a bucket, but there are good looks and there are bad looks.
So HF6451 says, what I'm not liking about Acuff is he simply has no passion.
I don't understand that.
If Kings fans got on Fox for always being nonchalant when then show the same energy towards Acuff. I think sometimes Acuff's stone cold, like just how he is as a competitor, is mistaken for no passion. I would have to totally disagree with that comment. I just think it's like at times, I think maybe it comes across that way with he doesn't show a lot of emotion, but I don't think that's because, he loves the game of basketball. And I truly believe, you heard it from so many of his former coaches, like the guy stays in the gym almost all off season. Now, last night, I do believe at times there was like an energy, or I don't know if it's adjustment to the game, but there was an energy kind of downgrade, or I just didn't see the Acuff I saw, at least in the 2 other games.
We saw him take plays off defensively, which is something he did a number of times at Arkansas, and that's just not going to be acceptable. right? That's just not going to be. And I don't know if it's conditioning reasons. I don't know if because he's got fouled hard. I don't know. Whatever the reason is, it doesn't work because you have Scott Perry, your general manager, preaching elite conditioning, elite conditioning, elite conditioning. Darius Acuff is too tired because of the workload on offense. That ain't going to fly, period. And I know, and Darius is not making that excuse for himself. That's the big difference for me, Kayla, is I think some people want to see passion in the form of Acuff turns the ball over and screams the F word so that everybody can hear it. Or he gets subbed out of the game and he throws a towel and punches a chair. Look how much he cares. No.
Yeah, that's not him.
To me, Darius Acuff Jr. taking the podium
Two different times. It was,
two different times after wins and saying, I'm not playing well. It was 3 because it was 2 post-game press conferences with the Kings and then the ESPN interview. All 3 times he said, I'm not playing well enough. I've got to be better. At least we got the win. But what he said in the ESPN what he said post-game in Summer League after game 1 is, my teammates are playing well. I need to play up to their standard. I need to play better. That to me, and you know how much I love De'Aaron Fox here, that to me is way different than making a mistake like fouling a 4-point play or on a 3-point shooter, Jaden Ivey, and going, well, it doesn't really matter after the game. Like, that's a big difference to me.
Yeah,
so he doesn't have to scream and yell to get his point across.
Yeah, I do not think this young man lacks any passion when it comes to the game of basketball. Believe me, I feel confident in saying that. Now, adjusting to the game right now, getting frustrated with himself because I do think he is a perfectionist. I truly do. I think Acuff is very hard on himself, and sometimes you can be too hard on yourself as a rookie. Some of these things he's got to not let go, but he's got to just be like, okay, this is part of learning. Like, I'm going to make mistakes. This is where I'm going to go back to, and I know people are totally against this, and some people like it, but bringing in a vet still that can kind of help guide him a little bit through the season.
Are you talking about Russ?
Yeah.
You want Russ?
I kind of do, but I know it's not going to happen.
I don't think it's happening.
But it would be nice to have that around because I think a lot of this is going to be trial by error for Acuff.
Yes.
And it's going to be kind of having to be not as tough on yourself in times and give yourself a little grace because it's going to be all in him.
It's going to be a lot. He's going to have the spotlight on him. And I think Kimberly said in the chat earlier, and she's right too, like, we got to be careful lumping all of our savior labels on a 19-year-old. Like, don't get me wrong. In this draft, with the season we just went through, you're damn right, I want the keys to the city to go to this young man and him to take that challenge. We were talking about Darren Peterson months upon months ago. Yeah. One of the criticisms that I had for Darren Peterson is he capable of handling the responsibility of being the face of a franchise that's been low-hanging fruit for as long as they have? Darius Acuff is now that guy. And we see Darius naturally plays with a chip on his shoulder. It's the same thing Jalen Brunson plays with. These smaller guards, you kind of have to.
Yeah.
Right? But at the same time, Acuff takes it personally that he was taken 7th. I promise you, Acuff, the thing that pisses Acuff off the most last night is that AJ Dybantsa outperformed him. Like, I genuinely believe that Acuff is competitive in the level that you're going to regret not taking me and I'm going to kick everybody's ass who was picked before me. That's how he's motivated. So you need to provide the results of that.
Well, this is where I start. This is where I look at things because you're going to play supposedly Mikael Brown Jr. on Tuesday. You did not play him in your first meeting because he did not play here in Sacramento. Mikael Brown Jr. also has something to prove because he didn't play a lot this season. People still have questions about him. I think he's going to be a really good player for the Nets. But now this is how sometimes I see the response. How does Acuff respond to what I think is his worst game of Summer League? That, I hope, is what we see on Tuesday.
And is that offensive breakout, efficient scoring night coming where he just catches fire? We're still waiting to see that. You want to hear what John Wall had to say about him on the broadcast last night?
Because this is what I was talking about.
John Wall is obviously very familiar with Coach Calipari.
Yeah.
They were sitting together courtside during the first quarter of this game before John then eventually joined the broadcast. Here is, of course, former Kentucky legend, Washington Wizards legend, played for John Calipari in Kentucky, talking about Darius Acuff Jr.
What have you seen from Darius Acuff? Hey, I told Coach Kyle yesterday, I said, you had a lot of great guards that were super fast and athletic. He's the best scoring point guard you had by far. Can score on all 3 levels, got the mid-range, got the floater, can shoot the 3. He asked me, is he faster than me? I said, you went a little bit too far with that one. he can definitely score the ball, though, for sure.
At every level.
So, high praise from a guard that played for Coach Cal, and one of the best guards that's ever played for Coach Cal, of course. I love the praise. I love hearing it. I understand fans that hear that and go, okay, but I want to see it. Yeah. I want to see it. And we've seen some moments of really good shot making. We've seen he hit the 2 threes in the fourth quarter of Game 3 of the California Classic to put that game away, including like the game-winning essentially step-back 3 to put the game on ice. We've seen moments, but we're still waiting for that efficient scoring explosion. And I understand fans that are a little anxious because we're 4 games for him now into his Summer League NBA career, and the shooting percentages aren't even close to what they were at Arkansas. I get that.
Yeah, I think that's why maybe it is a little bit louder than maybe it needs to be, because I do understand, like, hey, we drafted him. He's a scoring guard. He had a 40% from 3 in college or close to that. He's very
42% or something.
Yeah, very, for the most part, pretty efficient at Arkansas. On top of, the assist, which he is continuing to try to learn to be that playmaker. And one thing he prided himself on at Arkansas was taking care of the ball. And I think that's been a little bit tough too, because he's trying things. He's obviously facing double teams in Summer League. So he's adjusting to a lot of stuff right now. I think eventually the scoring, you don't just lose your scoring ability. I think the scoring will come back.
Coming up at noon, we'll have the crew of the Kang Gang podcast, a fan-created podcast that is just doing amazing work. They're going to be joining us in studio for the whole hour, and they were in Las Vegas. They saw last night's game in person. They'll be able to provide their perspective of what they noticed in the Thomas and Mack Center, as well as talking about their journey and this upcoming season for the Kings. Looking forward to that. But up next, we'll talk about the Bam Adebayo versus Tyler Hero altercation that happened in Vegas. It was a bigger fight than Conor McGregor's, to be honest with you. And that ended up making Draymond Green and Udonis Haslem get into it on social media. We'll talk about that. Plus, Victor Wembanyama signs a max contract extension with the Spurs, but it's what he didn't do that I think means the most to Spurs fans. I'll talk about that when we return. It's Matt and Kayla on Sactown Sports.
After a promising rookie season and an appearance in the FIBA World Cup qualifiers, Maxime Raynaud made his presence felt at NBA Summer League. Has the reigning all-rookie second-teamer shown he can be a key offensive threat alongside Domantas Sabonis this season?
Your exclusive home for Kings basketball.
Sactown Sports 1140.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Bonnie.
I'm meteorologist Kelly Curran in the KCRA 3 Weather Center. Mostly cloudy skies again today. We'll see temperatures topping out in the mid-90s this afternoon with winds out of the southwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA 3 News and the KCRA app.
Oh, the Sacramento heat. Right now, get your AC professionally tuned up for as low as just $59 and enjoy your summer nice and cool. Plumbing, electrical, heating, and air, Bonnie.com. Summer restrictions apply. License 696-355.
And we're live from the living room as Doug eyes up the match day spread. He's reaching for the Buffalo wing. Perfect. Hang on, what's this? Oh, he's gone for a can of Pepsi too. Incredible. What a finish. Sensational combination. Look at the delight on his face. There's no doubt about it. It just tastes better. Match days deserve Pepsi. Food deserves Pepsi. Grab a pack of Pepsi Zero Sugar for today's match. It's poetry in motion.
Hi, I'm Justin Gingery from the law firm of Gingery, Hammer, and Associates. When you have been injured by the fault of another, you will want advice you can trust. If you know an attorney you can trust, I hope you call that person. But if you don't, please call me. I promise I will be the attorney you can trust. Along with my partner and associates, I have been helping accident survivors recover for their injuries for over 25 years. And we can help you. There's no charge for calling, so please call us today.
When you get an injury, just call Gingery. From the FIFA World Cup to competitive business environments, grand ambitions lead to game-changing achievements. At Bank of America, we're there to support businesses at every step, providing insights and expertise to help you gain an edge.
He shoots, he scores!
What would you like the power to do? Explore winning business solutions at BofA.com/gamechangers. Bank of America, official bank of the FIFA World Cup 2026.
I can't believe how spotless my floors look after using the Swiffer Power Mop. No more dragging around a heavy mop and messy bucket. Now I get the same deep clean without all the work. Thanks to the powerful solution and scrubbing pad of the Swiffer Power Mop, dirt and grime don't stand a chance, and I don't break a sweat. Mic drop. I mean, mop drop.
Swiffer Power Mop. Swiffer Power Mop.
A smarter way to mop. Try it or your money back.
Whether it's date night, family night, or buddy night, Hagen Oaks has a bay for you. Reserve one of 3 Top Tracer bays from 6 to 11 p.m. through hagenoaks.com, and only those 3 bays are reservable. The rest of the driving range is still open for walk-ups. Play golf on world-famous courses while the kids try interactive games. Head to the Hangout for great food, cold drinks, and live sports on the TVs. Add monthly live music and putting tournaments, and you've got more than a driving range, you've got a night out. Hagen Oaks Golf Complex. Swing by and swing away.
Hi, this is Adam Johnson, owner of Golf Fitness Solutions. Exercise and golf have been 2 important activities in my life. I opened Golf Fitness Solutions in 2013 to help my fellow golf enthusiasts improve their posture, relieve their pain, gain strength and endurance, and most importantly, hit the ball farther. From beginners to professionals, I've had success working with all ages and all skill levels, and I can help you too. Located in Carmichael, call us at 916-802-5175 or go to golffitnesssolutions.com.
This is Sactown Sports 1140.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave.
What's up? It's Matt George.
What's good? It's Alan Stiles.
With the most trusted voices in the community.
This is Jason Ross.
Hey, it's Kayla Anderson.
It's Whitey Gleason.
Ready to help promote your business, both as partners and customers. All you have to do is ask. Pick up the phone, dial pound 250 and say, grow my business to get connected with a team member today. That's pound 250 and say, grow my business. Our team will review your product, quickly pair you with a perfect endorser, and create video and audio samples all at no cost or obligation to you. With the most live and local on-air lineup, a dynamic content-driven website, and a state-of-the-art mobile app, Sactown Sports 1140 is tailor-made to help you connect with a sports audience in Sacramento. So why wait? Dial pound 250 today. Say, grow my business, and let us help take you to the next level. It's time for your Sactown Soccer Report. Powered by Sac Yolo Mosquito and Vector Control District.
This week's key matches include France versus Spain at Dallas Stadium and Argentina versus England in Atlanta.
In soccer, defense wins championships. At home, defense stops mosquitoes. Train standing water. That's your backline. Dress with sleeves and defend with repellent. That's your keeper. Keep your doors and screens tight. That's your shutout. Sac Yolo Mosquito and Vector Control District. More tips at fightthebite.net. 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Matt and Kayla on Sactown Sports 1140.
In just half an hour, the crew from the Kang Gang podcast will be joining us in studio for the whole hour. Looking forward to talking Kings basketball with those boys. They're just getting back, or just got back, from Summer League in Las Vegas. So we'd love to hear their perspective on everything that they saw inside the Thomas and Mack Center. Their amazing story, really fun group of guys that love Kings basketball. Started a podcast to talk about it and have enjoyed the success that they're enjoying so far. Long overdue that we have them on these airwaves. So looking forward to having them join us in studio coming up at noon. We got Pick a Side coming up in just a little bit. Lots of other sports topics to talk about. But elsewhere in the NBA, there was drama in Las Vegas, Kayla. It's the perfect place for Las Vegas. It was fight weekend, and I'm not talking about Conor McGregor. I'm talking about Bam Adebayo and Tyler Hero getting into it. Former Heat teammates. After Tyler was traded to Milwaukee, apparently he said some critical things about Bam on social media. I never saw this. I just missed this, but Bam took issue with it. Apparently he confronted Tyler Hero at a Heat practice and struck him in the, quote, head area. All right? What is that? I don't know what that means, but he hit him in the head area. And what was funny was the Bucks were playing in the Summer League yesterday, so Tyler Hero was interviewed during the broadcast. Everybody knows this happened. Everybody knows this altercation got out there because Shams shared it with us, right? And so he's not asked about the incident directly, but he's asked about Miami. Tyler goes, "Oh, it's all love in Miami, man. It's all love in Miami." Dude, you just fought Bam. We know this.
That's funny.
Tyler just
That's
playing
really
it off
funny.
the way he is.
I don't really understand, again, the specifics of what Tyler Hero supposedly said or did not say.
I don't either. I have no idea.
But I don't understand why Bam needs to punch him in the head. Whatever happened, I saw the headline come across, and I'm like, what? Is this a joke?
What's happening?
Like, what is going on? And then I heard Jason Ross this morning on the morning show say he believes he was probably right there when it happened because he ended up, crossing paths with the Miami Heat team.
Mm-hmm.
And so I do wonder, what was the incident earlier on that happened with Dennis Schroeder? And we never really got to see what happened. Like, this is one of those things. Please tell me someone had a camera. Out of all of this Vegas Summer League and everybody who has cameras and social media everywhere, you're telling me nobody got this on film?
Guess not.
Let it be known.
Well, something that was caught on film was when Draymond Green punched Jordan Poole. Remember that?
Yeah.
Of course, Draymond's got to make this about him somehow. So Draymond goes on his podcast and talks about the Bam Adebayo Tyler Hero incident and says, "I remember one person when the Jordan Poole incident happened with me who was really, really outspoken about it, and it really bothered me. That was Udonis Haslem. This is two young guys that he raised. If you raise this young guy in the light of what you were saying about me, and now he punches this other young guy that y'all kind of co-raised, aren't you going to have that same energy?" It's Draymond just being Draymond about it.
Draymond.
Well, Udonis Haslem said, "Oh, we're going here? All right, we're going here." He went scorched earth on Twitter.
I didn't see this.
It's a long tweet. I'll just read as much as I can. He tags Draymond and says, "I see some things just don't change. You was on Sucka S 4 years ago when you swung on Jordan Poole, and you on Sucka S now. I usually don't engage, but since you went so far left to get my attention, here it is. If you think your big 32-year-old 3 or 4 rings at the same time having ass swinging on a 23-year-old Jordan Poole at the time is the same, then you are even more delusional than I thought. First of all, Bam is 28, Tyler's 26. Neither of them got it all figured out yet. Maybe I was giving you too much credit at the time because I thought you did so. That's why I commented. Second, anyone who knows Bam knows he's strong as a baby bear. Okay, blah, 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 blah. Talking about checking him, blah, blah, blah. Call it heat culture or whatever you want. But before I let one player disrespect Spo in front of the squad, cut his legs out, okay, this is all about an incident where he held Bam accountable or something. I really vibe you, and then I lost the plot on this entire explanation. But basically, he basically says, like, you were 32 years old and you swung at a 20-something-year-old. These are two 20-something-year-old kids who had an altercation. It's not the same thing. Keep my name out your mouth. This essentially was Udonis Haslem's response to Draymond taking an incident and somehow making it about him.
It is funny, though, in a day and age where I think more so we see everybody is getting along and it's almost like too much love sometimes, where we got in football trading jerseys after games. And, a lot of the times just with the podcast, having other players from opposing teams on and yucking it up with them. It is funny sometimes to see a little bit of the old school, like, I don't like you. You know what? I don't like you either.
Let's yell at each other online.
I mean, as much as I said Bam maybe didn't need to take a swing at his head, what am I talking about? I mean, coming from somebody who, if I got in an argument,
you know what?
I'm not going to stand back.
Great point. Honestly, really, really good point.
I know. I caught myself there.
You. So, yeah. Anyway, there's that drama. And then there's Victor Wembanyama.
Yeah, we didn't even get to this, his contract, by the way.
Right. And what's important about this contract is what Wemby didn't
do.
So Wemby signed a max contract extension with the San Antonio Spurs. No surprise, right? I mean, Wemby is Wemby. Pay him his money. A 5-year, $252 million maximum rookie scale contract extension, including a player option in the 5th and final season. But this is more context from Shams. This, I guess, speaks to the kind of teammate that Wemby is, and obviously where Wemby's motivations lie. Wembanyama decided on the 25% maximum instead of the 30% supermax escalators to $303 million. So he could have had $303 million. Yeah. He chose $252 million. Now, it's still plenty of money, but he and the Spurs went through multiple frameworks, a major decision for the All-NBA star, Defensive Player of the Year. San Antonio worked in close partnership with Wemby and his representatives, offering the full supermax and different variations of extensions. But Wembanyama ultimately chose a contract sacrifice rooted in giving him and the organization increased ability to build a sustainable title contender around him. Now, I don't think anybody's going to go, oh, what a great guy. Wemby's only taking $250 million instead of the rest. What a hero. But, he left a lot of money on the table to ultimately try and give the Spurs a little more flexibility that could matter. Jalen Brunson did the same thing, and the Knicks just won a title. So that matters.
I completely get it, and I don't think it should go unnoticed. I don't really care what amount, if it was a big amount or not a big amount. I don't care. He didn't get the max for a reason, because he is trying to be as good of a teammate as he can be to benefit other things around him, because we all know when it's all said and done that it's not just one player that makes it all work. It's not just one player that wins you a championship, and he's clearly coming off of something just like that.
Yeah.
And so I respect it, and I think that's why, again, he's going to be the face of the league for a while moving forward.
What I am interested about this, because Wemby's smart, and Wemby's looking at this team and going, well, if we believe this is a championship caliber team that we're very much building through the draft, with the exception of De'Aaron Fox, Stephon Castle's going to get paid in a couple years. Dylan Harper's going to get paid after that, and Dylan might be the most expensive of the two, based off how he's playing and how he played his rookie season. So Wemby's probably looking at it like, if I can save money on the back end that they can use to make sure those two guys stick around, that's good for me.
Yeah.
On the other side, side of this though, is you now have your clear number one guy and your superstar setting a precedent of, I took less money to do this. I'm not saying that he's forcing anybody to do anything, but does Stephon Castle take a little bit off the top? Does Dylan Harper take a little bit off the top?
Once you put that out there, not everybody cares.
And
I understand that, but I do think it kind of puts it out there like, hey, I'm doing it for the team. You know, what happens when your contract rolls around? I'm not going to say sacrifices you got to make, but in a way, there's going to be things like that not are expected, but he kind of did set a little bit of a precedent.
And I'm not intending this as a shot by any means, because he's my guy. De'Aaron took the max amount of money he could. Some players are motivated by different things, don't get me wrong, and De'Aaron certainly earned the money that he's gotten, although certainly people think it's an overpay based off of what happened in the NBA Finals, and understand that criticism completely. But Fox took the maximum amount of money that he could. Wemby didn't. Wemby still took a ton of money, but that stuff matters.
Yeah,
that stuff matters, and I'm curious to see. Okay, San Antonio, he gave you this flexibility. Do you use it the right way?
I do too.
So we'll see.
Because they do have so many young players that are about to get paid on this roster.
We'll take the break. When we come back, it's Pick a Side coming up next. A number of different topics, including we're talking about Draymond Green again, but this time it has to do with LeBron James.
The LeBron sweepstakes.
Golden State might still be alive. Kayla might holding out hope.
You are hoping.
We'll talk about that when we come back. And then a full hour with the Kang Gang podcast. They're going to be joining us in studio from noon to 1. Looking forward to chatting with them. It's all coming up next here on Matt and Kayla, Sactown Sports.
Sacramento's young talent is on full display in Las Vegas. And Kings two-way forward Jonathan Mobo continues to make his presence felt as he continues to make an impact around the rim, on the glass, and as a shot blocker. Will the young big man play his way into a larger role this season?
Your exclusive home for Kings basketball.
Sactown Sports 1140.
Capital Casino is conveniently located in downtown, 411 16th Street, and has been a part of the greater Sacramento area for over 20 years. They offer the best variety of games in the region in a safe and friendly environment, and there's plenty of parking, all well lit and monitored by security. Come have a great meal at the cafe and restaurant inside. Capital Casino has the best food, the best service, and the best action. But please always remember to gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
At Power Business Technology, we're not another big box corporation. We're your neighbors, locally owned and operated. We know what businesses like yours need, from reliable printers to high-performance copiers. We'll help you find the right solution with personal service you just can't get online. Need setup or support? We're just down the road and always happy to help. Power Business Technology, family hometown service with big-time solutions. Contact us today for all your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BZ. That's 844-769-3729, or visit us at powercopiers.com.
This is the story of the one who keeps multiple buildings running smoothly day after day. Plumbing that flows, HVAC that hums, cleaning supplies that keep surfaces sparkling. That's why she counts on Grainger. With easy reordering online and 24/7 support, Grainger helps her keep the products she needs on hand, so shelves stay stocked and buildings stay ready. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Jake from State Farm. I just beat my running PR, so I'm celebrating with the Banana Bonanza smoothie.
Hey, and you can keep celebrating when you create an affordable price just for you by bundling your home and auto with the State Farm Personal Price Plan. Go bananas.
I will. Hey, make it a large.
Bundling, just another way to save with the Personal Price Plan. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Prices are based on rating plans that vary by state. Coverage options are selected by the customer. Availability, amount of discounts and savings, and eligibility vary by state.
Patrick was way behind on his IRS taxes.
I was in way over my head. The total amount ended up being somewhere just over $30,000. $30,000.
Then the IRS came to collect.
Started getting letter after letter. A lien had been filed against me. They were going to basically hang me completely out to dry.
He had to do something.
That's when I reached out to Optima Tax Relief.
Patrick's life quickly got a lot easier.
It was very easy, pretty much hands off. They picked up the ball and ran with it.
And how'd it go?
I couldn't believe it. I had to ask 2 or 3 times. I saved an incredible amount of money.
How does Patrick feel about Optima?
Couldn't be happier. They definitely helped me. Optima Tax Relief, the best place to call. They're the best in the business.
Do what Patrick did and call Optima Tax Relief for a free consultation. Call 800-375-2922. 800-375-2922. 800-375-2922.
Optima Tax Relief.
Testimonial from an actual client. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Now through July 26th at Big O Tires, get $200 in savings on 4 select Michelin or BF Goodrich in-stock tires with installation purchase. Disposal fees extra. Savings include $120 instant plus $80 rebate. Not good with other offers. See Big O dealer for pricing.
Pick a side, any side. It's time for Pick a Side on Matt and Kayla.
Very excited for the next segment. We got the Kang Gang podcast in studio with us for a full hour, but you got to wait a little bit longer for that. They're currently chilling in the old Arco seats that we have here. It's just old times, man. They're uncomfortable, but good memories in those seats.
Bringing back some memories.
I love those seats. But then you sit in a real seat in the Golden One Center, you're like, oh, okay, I get it.
This is different.
I get it. I can actually be comfortable while watching Kings basketball. Right now, it's time for Pick a Side, and shout out to Christopher Law doing the marathon today. 8 straight hours of radio for us. He's running the show on the other side of the glass. Chris, let's pick a side topic number 1.
Panthers wide receiver McMillan did not show up to his own youth football camp he put together. Is this a bad look? Yes or no?
Tet, what are you doing, man?
Yeah, it doesn't look good.
What are you doing? You're coming off of a great season with Carolina, which they need all the great pub that they can get down there. And to throw a youth football camp, I've covered lots of these with NFL players along my career. The biggest part of it is that the player shows up and doesn't have to be there the whole time even. But to throw a youth football camp, and there's a lot that goes into it that I'm sure he had a group around him who helped him put it together. For him to not show up and people were excited to just see him. That's a bummer, man. That's a bad look, Ted.
So we have Colton Miller from Roseville, who's with the Raiders. He does a youth football camp, usually at Roseville High School, where he went to school. Shout out Tigers, even though I'm a Wood Creek alum, so that's gross to say. You have Shaq Thompson from Grant. He'll do this. Jake Browning from Folsom will do this.
Yeah, you've covered a ton of these.
These are all really, really cool, and it means a lot to the kids, right? And a good way to give back to the community. I don't know enough details about,
There's nothing that's really come out.
Did they publicize that he was going to be there? And he just didn't show up? Well, parents aren't going to be happy about that because those things are not cheap. I can tell you much.
Maybe he comes out with a statement saying he was here and this is what he was doing. But right now, there wasn't a ton of detail.
Yeah, very bad look, my man.
Yeah.
Show up for the kids, if nothing else. All right, topic number 2.
Draymond Green says he made a pitch to LeBron James in free agency. Said it'll make you think twice about it. Are the Warriors still a legit team in the running?
Yes. Yes, the dream of LeBron to the Warriors is still alive. And it's
you go to sleep asking this in your prayers every single night,
God,
Matt.
please give us
you do.
The Golden State girls. Please, I want to see the retirement home in Chase Center. It would be so fun, damn it. Hey, Draymond's doing the Lord's work then. Get this done, Draymond.
Draymond made the pitch on his voice memo, whatever they have to send Rich Paul.
Oh.
And he said...
he sent a voice memo himself?
Yeah, so he made a pitch. He didn't do it on the podcast, per se. He made a pitch, sent it to him, and he said, all I can say is it was a little wild. But, Draymond's Draymond. He's not going to hold back. Then Steph Curry was asked about it up at the big tournament in Tahoe this past weekend, the celebrity golf tournament.
Right.
And he kind of gave a little bit of a pitch, too.
Sure.
So you've got some guys from Golden State that are definitely advocating to get LeBron here. I think they're still in the mix. They might be the underdog right now, but I do think they're still in the mix.
Rich Paul has his podcasts that he does now. The greatest podcast episode ever would be, here's an hour of all the voice memos that we got from all the teams and all the people.
It'd be pretty funny.
That would be the most, exposing everybody, but it would be the greatest podcast ever.
Somebody on there just begging, on their hands and knees. That's all the memo is.
Scott Perry's voice memo is just
we'll pass.
Don't bother. We're just doing this just to say we did it.
Yeah.
All right. Topic number 3.
Ja Morant talked to Portland media for the first time. He spoke about being in a new environment. Do you think he can rejuvenate his career? Yes or no?
I absolutely think he can.
I honestly went and I listened to all of it.
Mm-hmm.
Being up there, and I do know some media up there, so I was curious as to, how that all went. And I felt there was a re-energized, humble kind of Ja that we heard from.
Yeah.
Obviously, Oregon known for its wildlife, known for its rain, all the fishing, all the stuff that goes along. It's a great thing that he is in Portland. I'm not going to lie. That is, if you're talking about an environment change from, I spent a lot of time in Tennessee. I've been to Oregon plenty of times. It's a very different kind of energy. And I think Ja has a chance to rejuvenate his career. If it's not here, it's never going to happen.
The quote that I actually liked the most from Ja was him talking about the off-court stuff.
Yeah.
And he goes, look, it's been years and I haven't had incidents since. Obviously, my past is my past. It's not like he was making an excuse for it or anything. He's like, why do we keep talking about it like it happened a week ago?
Yeah.
To me, there's fair and unfair criticisms for Ja Morant. The fair criticism is, dude, you can't stay healthy, so you can't stay on the court.
Boom.
That's a concern. That would be a concern that I have with acquiring Ja.
Yep.
While I can't ignore the off-court stuff, you're not fully permanently judged by your past mistakes unless those past mistakes are really, 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 really egregious, in which Ja Morant still wouldn't be in the league anymore if it crossed that line, in my opinion. So you acknowledge it. I'm glad he did, but I like what he said, kind of standing up for himself. Look, this hasn't happened for years. It doesn't define me anymore. I'm here in Portland, fresh start. I appreciated him answering the question in that way, providing a little context.
I'm rooting for him. I believe in second chances, and again, he didn't do anything where he got arrested or he's obviously the things in the past
he
were
made
not
some bad
good.
mistakes.
They were not good, but the people surrounding him were not good either.
Yes.
So I think this is kind of like a new chance for him. He's got to take advantage of it, though.
Well, he's coming into an environment that's plenty strange in Portland too. The team is exciting. The owner sucks, and I don't even know if that team wants to even be there, or if he wants to keep them there.
Portland
I don't know.
fans, that's not the case.
I don't know. Watch him move to Nashville, and he's
we're not doing that.
I'm back.
No, they don't deserve a hoops team right now. Sorry.
Final topic.
Tim Hardaway Sr. says active NBA players shouldn't have podcasts during the season. Do you agree?
I don't know where I sit on this. The content in me says absolutely not. I want the podcasts during the season. I want Paul George's podcast during the season. I want Draymond's podcast during the season because it gives you something that you won't get anywhere else. But I imagine almost every general manager, if not every general manager and every PR department in the league completely agrees with Tim Hardaway Sr. Yeah, don't do your podcast during the season. It's hard enough for us to deal with it.
I'm kind of old school, so I don't like it.
You don't?
But I'm old school. So if I were a coach, I would not want any of that and going and talking about our business, which sometimes that happens.
Yeah.
And Josh Hart agrees. Like, he retweeted Tim Hardaway and said, I totally agree. And Josh Hart is a current NBA player who could probably have a podcast of his own during the season if he wanted.
Did you see Josh Hart and Jalen Brunson's podcast with Mike Brown?
I did.
Really good.
It's really good.
It's such a good podcast.
Yeah. So I'm fine with it in the offseason. I just think there's too much going on in season. Like, we don't necessarily need all that.
Right.
But it is fun.
Well, speaking of a really good podcast, the Kang Gang podcast is here. If you're not familiar with these gentlemen, they're diehard Sacramento Kings fans that took it upon themselves and said, damn it, we're passionate about this team just like this entire city is. So we're doing it our way. We're doing it ourselves. They started a podcast. It has exploded from their parody songs to interviewing Dylan Cardwell. They were out at Vegas, got in this morning at like 3 o'clock in the morning, and we still got their ass out of bed and said, get here to the studio so you can do content with us. We get the Kang Gang podcast, Christo, RT, and Johnny in studio for a full hour next, right here on your home of the Kings, including Kings fans, Sactown Sports.
SactownSports.com is your online home for sports in Sacramento. Dive deep into the Kings, 49ers, Raiders, Giants, Athletics, and more with your favorite local personalities and some of the most trusted sports voices in the community. Stream Sactown Sports 1140. Watch original video content and read in-depth analysis all in one location. SactownSports.com. Your local sports leader. Sactown Sports 1140.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Someone had a birthday.
Yep, 50. Can't believe it.
50 years of wisdom.
Great segue. We have a health reminder from the CDC.
Pneumococcal vaccination is recommended for adults 50 or older. Says here, we're over 6 times more likely to be hospitalized with pneumococcal pneumonia than adults under 50.
I don't love those odds.
Same. Look what I found. Pfizer's Prevnar 20 is proven to help protect adults against pneumococcal pneumonia and invasive pneumococcal disease in just 1 dose, and millions have already gotten it.
Continued approval may depend on a supportive study. Don't get Prevnar 20 if you have a severe allergy to its ingredients. A weakened immune system may lower your response. Common side effects include injection site pain and swelling, fatigue, headache, muscle, and joint pain. For full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138. Visit Prevnar20.com or talk to your doctor or pharmacist.
I'm on Prevnar20.com now, scheduling my appointment.
Good idea. And happy 50th.
Dawn or dusk, I'm on the hunt. Skeeter here, Sacramento Yellow Mosquito and Vector Control District, and I'm wearing Skeeter Vision, night vision goggles that light up skeeters at dawn or dusk like the 4th of July. Mosquito, 12 o'clock. Got him. So fight the bite by wearing long sleeves and pants at dawn or dusk when they're most active. Apply insect repellent and drain stagnant water. It's a breeding ground.
Dawn or dusk, the Sacramento Yellow Mosquito and Vector Control District reminds you to fight the bite. For more information or to report problems, go to fightthebite.net.
If your passion is bass fishing, only one radio show has the action, information, and excitement of your favorite outdoor sport. Ultimate Bass, hosted by Tournament Bass Pro and California Outdoor Hall of Famer Kip Brown, takes you live to where the fish are biting every Saturday morning. Only Ultimate Bass feeds your passion with the latest news, products, tips, and advice from the pros. Ultimate Bass with Kip Brown, Saturday mornings at 5 a.m. on Sactown Sports 1140, part of SEP's Saturday Morning Outdoors.
Hi, this is Adam Johnson, owner of Golf Fitness Solutions. Most golfers practice their swing, but ignore the body swing in the club. We help golfers move better, get stronger, reduce pain, build power, and play longer. Join us for a free trial week and see how golf-specific training can help you support your body and your game. Try a class, meet the team, and find a right program for your goals. Call 916-802-5175 or visit golffitnesssolutions.com. Golf Fitness Solutions. Move better, feel better, play better.
KHD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento.
Sactown Sports 1140, your local sports leader. It's time for the lunch break. Your calls, your thoughts, your segment. Call or text us at 916-339-1140. It's the lunch break on Matt and Kayla.
We've got guests for lunch. I'm excited about this. Listen, the entire Sactown sports crew is out in Las Vegas,
Right.
so screw them.
We said we'd have our own.
We'll have our own
little
party here in the
Yeah.
Sactown Sports Studios, and we're bringing in guys who just got back from partying in Vegas. Not really. It was a business trip. They were out there for Summer League. The Kang Gang podcast is in studio. We've got Christo, we've got RT, we've got Johnny in the building. Guys, thank you so much for joining us. So excited to have you. We'll get into how much you guys enjoyed Las Vegas in just a little bit. But first and foremost, guys, like I started in this industry as a Kings fan. Started just doing podcasting, radio stuff. I've been incredibly lucky. So to see the rise that you guys' podcast is, and there's so many great fan-driven podcasts here in Sacramento, but the rise that you guys have had to watch your guys' journey to where you had Dylan Cardwell and you had Brad Miller in earlier this summer. Now you're in Las Vegas getting work done over there. It's been awesome to watch your journey, and I love that you guys epitomize so much of Sacramento Kings fandom and the passion that this fan base has. So congratulations to all your success, and it's truly our pleasure to be able to have you guys in the studio.
Let's go.
Thank you so much. That was, wow.
Matt's always good at
Absolutely
like
honored.
hyping people up. He's very good at that.
Now tell me what's wrong with Darius Acuff Jr.
But now I want to know all the dirt.
Yeah, did you say mean things about De'Aaron Fox? If so, get out. No,
Yeah, I mean, I gotta, I'll speak for all of us if we say like, we gotta pinch ourselves constantly because growing up as Kings fans, like that is so cool to just be, talking to former players and talking to current players. And I remember as a kid, like before Rudy Gay had his tenure with the Kings, like I was in an elevator just standing next to him, and I was like, this is the coolest thing in the world. So the fact that we have the opportunity to talk to Kings players, they see the stuff we post online. I got to pinch up myself constantly personally. Like it's just a dream. And for all three of us who've been born and raised in this area, like this community is so special, and it's been a fun run so far. But we're not done. We're not done.
So that's my question. I've been in so many different markets, covered so many different fan bases, and all of them are unique in their own ways. But I feel like Sacramento, with the Kings being their professional team, how unique is that for you guys, just knowing that the focus is really on NBA here?
Oh, I mean, I say this all the time. If the team wasn't here, I probably wouldn't be living in Sacramento. I mean, that's the exact reason why I pushed to stay here. And I obviously with our growth of what we've been doing on social media and with our podcast and everything online, like I'm just so glad that we're here. And like, yeah, this team means everything to every single person that grew up here, that loves sports.
Yeah.
I mean, this is and we're just lucky that the sport that we love the most is basketball. And just to have, obviously, like growing up, we were very young during, Chris Webber,
Sure.
Mike Bibby, like
glory
that
years.
But
exactly.
didn't that shape you then to be NBA fans?
For sure. Exactly.
Right?
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
It's the only ticket in town. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like we had no choice but to be Kings fans. It quite frankly makes me sick to my stomach when I talk to people who grew up in this area and they're like, "Oh, I'm a Laker fan." Like there's someone in my apartment building who I just moved there recently, but we were working out and I was like, "Oh, do you watch the Kings?" Like that's kind of like my main talking point. Being a Kings guy, that's kind of how I break the ice. And he's like, "No, I grew up in Granite Bay, but I'm a Laker fan." And he was around my age, and I was just like. Things like that, and I understand, like, we had our down seasons and we had our down times, but it's like, that never made sense to me, being from Sacramento, knowing we only have one professional sports team, not counting the A's right now, obviously, but growing up, only one professional sports team, and we have no choice but to stick through the bad times and stick through these times, and I think, our audience sees that loyalty and sees kind of how we're pushing through that losing streak last season, another, ups and downs throughout the year, and yeah, I mean, we have no choice but to ride this out, you know.
And honestly, truthfully, I wouldn't want it any other way. We had these conversations a lot while we were in Vegas. People were just talking about like why what we're doing is so special, and I was like, it wouldn't work if we were the Oklahoma City Thunder. Like it wouldn't work. But like being a part of like the journey, like seeing what it's like to be at the be close to the top, and then going deep down below, and then slowly trying to get back there. Like I want to be a part of the ride, and I want to be able to feel every single emotion during that entire ride.
Yeah.
Like I don't want to take the
It's
shortcut.
boring if it's just like flat.
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly. I love like obviously like it's we all want this team to win, but like every single thing that's happened has like shaped this community, has brought so many people together. So I think it's, obviously take it as you do.
Exactly.
But
we love the drama.
We love it. We love the journey.
Yes. But yeah, honestly, I think it's really special that we are doing this. I mean, we've been doing this. This is going to be our third year doing this podcast, and we've had so many people just locally and people that were out of Vegas, out of town. We met and connected with a lot of people, and it was a really fun time. And for anybody that wants to get into content, like, be ready to fail. Like, that is the number one thing that you can do, because my favorite quote of all time that I say to people is, a master has failed more times than the student has succeeded. And I think that is so very true with just how we approach things. Not everything that we are going to do is going to work, and that's what makes it special. And we found some things that worked, especially with the songs, especially doing interviews with people. Like, it brings a community together, and that's what makes it very special. And it just even, like, music in general connects. It's like, I'm a musician, and like, I'm a music teacher, and seeing like the connectivity that music brings, especially for communities around the world,
100%.
that is a huge factor. And that's why, like, we're all very lucky to do what we do, and obviously just being here just means it more special to all of us.
Yeah, Christo, RT, and Johnny are all about to drop like an album for us with all the parody songs that they've made over the not just years, the weeks. They drop a new one every other day. I'm like, God,
every game basically, every game, and even during like events where like Mike Brown and De'Aaron Fox make the finals, we just
feel like that's the perfect recipe. For
and
a
it's like
single.
because it's like it's more of a stab to the Kings fans' heart. So it's like you got to just like, if the dagger's already in, why not just push it in just a little bit further? Just
you guys can handle it.
Yeah, we're able to handle the scrutiny for it, so that's all that matters.
Well, listen, a word of advice: don't make a song about Luka Doncic and the Marvin Bagley pick. I'll just throw that out there.
Sorry, that's a little, just a hair too late. Hair too late.
Take my advice and just avoid that topic altogether. But something about like towing a fine line between being in media as a journalist and as a fan, like that's something that I used to work on for the Locked On Podcast Network. We had to do a lot, and trust me, it's gotten me in trouble over the years of being a Kings fan while also working in this medium that I do. But there's also something so therapeutic about, things are either going great and we can have fun with it, or things are going terrible and we can just talk our way through it. And I know the fan base feels the same way about that. This fan base, what's great about this fan base too is they all consume multiple. It's not like, I only listen to that, or I only listen to the Ken Gang pod, or I only listen to this show, because everybody's so starved and sick in the head about this team that we just take all the content that we can get. So going through a season like we just went through, a 22-60 season where many were calling it one of the worst seasons we've ever dealt with in Sacramento, which is saying something considering how bad.
I just happened to come in at the right time, didn't I? Jeez Louise.
So
I was already used to it, though, so I was like, okay, just going to the NBA.
Kayla's the problem. Let's just blame Kayla. But how therapeutic was it for you guys to be able to, listen, season's not going well, things are a problem. All right, we can just sit down on the couch and we can talk through the struggles, make songs about it, and just kind of get through it together as a show, but also as a fan base.
Yeah, I would say, I mean, obviously, like you said, down season. So how do you optimize the situation, Obviously, we're losing a lot of games, so let's have fun with it and not be so sad and depressed all the time, Let's come together and let's turn it into something positive. And that's what we did with the songs. We like that's when everyone started noticing, is when we were losing a lot. Like we've been doing the songs before this season, and people don't know that because we just weren't at that level yet. But now, once there was so much eyes on the Kings being bad, that's when our songwriting and our videos became that much better. And that's what it was just obviously like the fun thing to watch at the time when obviously your team's not doing well, but at least I could pull up on my phone the next morning, 7:30 a.m. every single day after that game and have something to laugh about.
Yeah.
Well, like going back to what you said, Matt, like we're tested through these times. You know what I mean? Like as hard as last year was, like we remember the Sergio Rodriguez days. You know what I mean? The Andres Nocioni, the 2008 seasons. Like even though we were 11, like that's what we. Or at least I was 11. That's what we like grew up on. So we know times get worse than what happened, right?
True.
Like obviously after that Beam Team year, we want a trajectory upward, but that doesn't always work out. You know what I mean? And it's like we know how bad it can get, and so the only thing you can do is make light of it. We have young players now. In that 08 season, we were praying for Tyreek Evans, or I guess Tyreek Evans, and we got him in 09. But we know as Kings fans that it could get worse, right? Like that's what we always tell ourselves. But at the end of the day, we have a community behind us. We have, the Sacramento Kings community is so special. Sacramento sports community in general is so special. So I think that's helped us out a lot. But yeah, I mean, just to get the energy for the songs during Dow times, it's just like we're tested. This is nothing to us. You know what I mean?
So my question to you guys, with Scott Perry doing things little by little, and we always joke about how long his summer checklist is. I mean, I would never want to touch that checklist.
It's definitely a laundry list,
dude.
For sure.
It's like right when I feel like one gets crossed off, then there's like 4 more that come up. But how do you feel like he is done as a general manager since arriving, coming from a fan's perspective?
I think Scott Perry has done a really, really good job. And I know the standard and what was going on was not the cleanest in the world, but Scott has really done a fantastic job through the draft these last 2 years, especially getting guys like Nick Clifford, Maxime Raynaud, Dylan Cardwell as an undrafted free agent, and then also getting Emmanuel Sharp, Darius Acuff Jr., and I still have faith in Caravan. I know obviously he is coming off an ankle injury, and that always is not the easiest to play, especially when you're trying to go play games basically in an AAU format too. That's the other thing. So I still have faith in Caravan as well. But the fact that he is doing a lot of the right moves, re-signing Precious Achiuwa, which is a great culture build for this team, just getting guys that are there to just buy in, and obviously seeing Domas yesterday well. That was awesome.
Yeah.
So especially that, I think he's going to be really bought in, and he's going to really help Acuff really be this great pick-and-roll mentor and really help him out with DHOs. I just love to see what's going on and all those things too. So I'm really excited. I think that Scott Perry is doing the best job that he can, and I think his job is great right now. Like I'm giving this a very solid A right now.
He says, "Oh,
yeah,
no, that's great. I mean, I think it's clear that he can draft, right? Scott Perry can draft. I think with all the players he's brought in, he has a prototype player he wants to bring in. Right? He has a type. So yeah, I mean, I'd give him a high grade. Yeah, I don't know what letter I'd put on it, but so far he's seen to have talent to go deep in drafts and to get players. So I like the moves he's making so far. And he's not making any rash decisions. He's not pulling the trigger on any big time moves or just trying to get Sabonis or these veterans out the door. So he's being patient, which obviously with front offices in the past with the Kings, that's not always the case.
Sure.
So far I've liked what Scott Perry's done. I think.
I also like that he's not trying to like speed up, like leapfrog to
the
make it
timeline
happen.
is what it is.
Like we all I think we all could agree that we're years and years away.
Yeah.
So I don't think that, there's no point to go make that big swing to go bring someone in. Like I like that he's taking his time. He's letting the players go that need to be left off the roster. He's bringing in great young talent, and I also trust Scott Perry a lot because this is the first GM in quite some time that we've had that was previously a GM. A lot of the other GMs we've had over the last couple of years have been their first time being a GM. So I just trust his experience, and he's been around the NBA for a very long time. He has so many connections, and I think I have no choice but to trust Scott Perry.
Yeah,
but
it's
I
a
do
good
like
point,
what he's
though.
doing. Yeah.
It's like you either can be negative your whole time as a fan, or embrace the newness and try to turn it into what you hope is positive. So
yeah, exactly. I feel like I'm overly optimistic about everything Sacramento related. So whenever we bring in someone new, either if that's like front office or a player, I always am ready to ride or die for that person.
Yeah.
Like if our rookies we got last year, like Max, Nick, and Dylan, didn't have the season that they had, our judgment would probably be a lot different.
Sure.
But right now, and obviously it's still a small sample size in Scott Perry's tenure, and we'll see how this draft class kind of pans out.
Right.
But so far, it's hard to have any complaints with any decisions he's made as far as like the young players go.
Yeah.
One of the things I love about Scott from a media perspective, and I think you guys know this too, listening to Monty McNair as much as we did. Monty's a good dude, but Monty wouldn't say anything.
Yeah, saw him in Vegas too.
Yeah,
Monty.
was it? Yeah.
For the Clippers.
Yeah.
Monty's a great dude.
And he's still wearing the vest.
Of course.
112.
It's like a staple, right?
Listen, even because it was basically like 110, and it was just insane.
Yep.
Just
Right.
yeah, I mean, it was unbelievable. Just having him be in a vest, and I'm like, you know what? That's just simple Monty McNair. So you can't
By any
complain.
means
Calling
necessary.
If it works for you, if it works for you. But with Scott, while Scott's not revealing the plan to everybody, the one thing that stood out to me in his most recent media availability that he did before the team left for Las Vegas was essentially he let it be known that goal 1A for this next season is, hey, we need to establish this identity. And from what I understand the identity to be, it's very physical. They're going to be, he used the elite conditioning is the term he's using over and over again. A team that just plays hard every single night with the hopeful rise of Darius Acuff Jr. and Keegan Murray getting back on track, especially with his three-point shooting and stuff like that. But when you hear about, when you think about the idea of what the next 82-game season is going to look like, the likelihood is the Kings aren't going to be very good. The likelihood is that they may, if they're going to compete for anything postseason, it's maybe they sneak in via the play-in, which a couple of years ago that was disaster. Now it's like, hey, that kind of sounds pretty good with the new draft lottery system. But what do you guys think, and how do you think both yourselves and the fan base will respond to if the Kings are able to put together their brand of basketball that we see on a nightly basis, even if it results in wins more often than not? That sounds like the good step towards a meaningful, valuable season in the midst of a rebuild.
Well, Matt, I think you made a really good point, especially with the new draft lottery system. It makes it basically impossible to tank. And with the relegation zone being the bottom three teams, you lose out on a chance of having a lottery ball. So I think with the way that the Kings are built, especially keeping Levine, keeping Savonis, having these veterans that are there to provide culture for Acuff and for all the other younger players, you kind of have to basically treat this as like going out every night to win a game. And that, I think, is the one thing I really like about this roster is that, one, you have young guys that do want to win. We saw it last season in last summer league, especially with Max and Neek and Dylan and everybody else, Daquan Plowden, who we got to meet at Summer League as well. You see that they made it to the finals in that Summer League. Obviously, we'll see how the rest of the games go. Probably not going to make it to the same playoffs as we did last year, but you never know, but we'll see. But I think it is so interesting just to making sure that, one, we're building a community with this, right? And so I think the biggest thing that I would love to see is this team playing together and pulling out a lot of wins. That not like too many wins, but like enough to avoid the relegation zone, because that's like that is the death scenario in a way, is just staying out of that relegation zone. And I think like Sabonis and Levine will definitely play. Levine is going to be on a big contract year as well. He wants to prove to everybody, not to every other team out there, including ours, because you never know, that he wants to continue playing and wants to build and wants to play meaningful basketball games and still have enough that where his value is enough to have it.
Yeah, I think the fan base is going to be excited no matter what. I know, like, opening night, it's going to be sold out. I think going forward in the season, like, we're going to be expecting a better product on the floor. Obviously, I don't think we should be making any win or loss predictions going into this year.
What's the record going to be next year?
Exactly. That's what we would always do it for fun. But this year, I don't want to do that this year. I just want to see, guys that actually want to compete. And I think we have, like what Scott's been building right now is he's building an identity for this team that these guys are going to go out there and Nick Clifford in the Summer League, his defense was incredible. And then same with Emmanuel Sharp. I couldn't believe what he was doing to Keaton Wagler. And I'm like, he's building like these defensive effort guys. And I'm like, this is what Kings fans love. We love high energy, high effort players like Dylan, Malik. I mean, so the list will go on, and I'm just excited to see. And I think the fan base is excited to see what. And
another guy that I was really impressed with was Jonathan Mogbo.
Big time.
Oh yeah, he's been great.
He's been phenomenal.
Yeah.
He's like a taller version of Keon Ellis, but he just has the defensive intangibles. I mean, he was a guy that dropped a triple-double in his rookie year with Toronto too, and that's like a huge, huge thing. So having that big energy guy that really just plays hard, meaningful minutes, I'm hoping he gets a roster spot. So if I'm Scott Perry and if I'm checking off all the marks, I'm saying, hey, give me Jonathan Mogbo as a roster to make it on opening day.
I have. Oh, go ahead. No. You chime in, and then I'll ask.
I'll be quick. I mean, these guys said it best. It's like we're not going to be looking at the win-loss record too much this year, or even the next year, right? Like this is about bringing people in who kind of fit the culture. We want to build a culture here. Scott Perry wants to do that. And say what you want about, Doug's coaching experience or whatever, but he understands the Sacramento culture, right? He understands the product that these fans want to see on the floor. And I think all the players that Scott's brought in, like that's what he looks for. He looks for players that are going to bring it. He looks for players that are going to bring that energy. Dylan Cardwell is already like one with the Kings community and his celebrations and everything. And, he has a great voice, as you could tell on our page. But he's like I said earlier, Scott Perry has a type, and he seems like he has a great pulse on what this community wants in a basketball player. And whether that will translate to wins, we'll see. But so far, he's bringing the players that us fans want to see on the floor.
Yeah, no, and it's a great point. And one of his types is clearly who he drafted with number 7 overall. I am curious because we were big Acuff proponents on this show from the beginning. Mm-hmm. I'm curious as to who your draft crush was when you found out at least that they were going to be at the 7 spot. And are you at all right now worried from the Summer League limited play from what we've seen from Darius on what he can do for this organization?
Well, I'll start. I definitely I was not expecting Darius Acuff to be there. I thought for sure we were going to get a guy like Kingston Flemings or Michael Brown Jr. because I thought Acuff was sure going to be gone at 5 or 6. To answer your question about just how he's been doing in the Summer League, I'm not personally worried because one example of a player that was really, really having a rough time in the Summer League was Trae Young. And he had more turnovers than assists, bad shooting efficiency, just looked like he was lost on defense. But look at how his career has turned out so far, right? And if anything, if Acuff can have anything that's way better than Trae Young in his NBA career, that's all I care about. And I know that they'll most likely, obviously, the shooting numbers will be better too. Those things are going to happen. The shots will fall.
Right.
So, and he is playing. He does care on defense. He's saying all the right things. He's being accountable. And as for a fan, you want to see that from your rookie and seeing that like he wants to take that accountability. That's super rare from a 19-year-old. And obviously, he had a great defensive play last night. I think it was against Will Riley, right? Or something like that. And he just shows that he wants to play hard on defense. He wants to prove that everybody wrong, that he's not as bad of a defender as everybody says he is. Yes, he can improve those lapses and time to time, and that comes with maturity and that comes with being in the league for a long time. And, obviously that's what I'm excited about with Acuff is that he's such an offensive generational player that anything he can do, as long as he improves that defensive side, he's going to get better as well.
Yeah, I'm never gonna get too worried about efficiency early on because just imagine like when those shots do start falling, like where he's getting his spots, where he's getting his looks, and he's like attacking the basket really hard, and his court vision is just so impressive. So good. Oh, I love it, and like I think like the way he carries himself, like it looks like he's just so locked in on just one thing.
Somebody said it wasn't passionate. And I'm like, it's just because he's a different type of mindset. He's not going to show the emotions necessarily, but this man like breathes, eats, and sleeps basketball.
It seems like that. Like how Davion Mitchell would always walk around with the basketball.
Right.
I did not see Darius Acuff doing that, but he has that same like mindset. I feel like that's all he cares about. Like we saw him walking around in Vegas, and like he just looks like he's not there for any other reason. Like I think he wants to prove the people wrong. He knows he's not playing good. He's saying it in the post-game interviews. I mean, even when he had, was it 25 in Game 1 at the California Classic? I don't even think he was, he was like, I didn't know I shot 29 times.
He was almost embarrassed by it.
He
was.
I
shot
like,
how many times?
Exactly. So I'm like, if anything, it makes me even more excited about him just to see where he's at now. I'll always keep telling myself this is probably like, probably the worst version of that we're going to see him in his NBA career as he develops and has like a full summer with, actual NBA trainers and everything. So, and then once he's playing with, once he's implemented with, Sabonis and our actual team, I'm really excited to see what he could do. So I'm not worried at all.
Yeah, to answer your first part of your question, Kayla, like we never thought, Darius was going to be on the board like after the mock draft or after the lottery. Like we were thought Kingston Flemings, my buddy RT here was a big Keaton Wagler guy.
Yeah,
like we had some brain burns. No, wait, it's my turn. Wait. I mean, no, he wasn't, he was high on his board. Keaton Wagler was high on his board, but it is what it is.
How game one go?
I'm on the Wagler hate watch. But no, that was we didn't know it was going to be reality until the pre-draft workouts came, and then we found out the Clippers loved Wagler, and then the Nets did their thing. Me personally, I think Mikal Brown was my 1B, just because of the boomer bust potential, right?
Sure.
Didn't play a lot in college, but you saw the signs.
Sure.
But Acuff all the way. Like that's who we wanted. We just didn't think it was going to be a reality. And to answer your other part, so obviously you watch Summer League with a grain of salt, right? It's not going to be, you're not going to know too much, but so far, I'd rather have my young player be not scared, right?
Yes.
Like not scared to shoot shots, just fire away. That's what I see most out of Acuff, regardless of the field goal percentage and the stats. Like he's a dog. He doesn't care. Oh, I missed this shot. Okay, I'm making the next one. Like that's the poise you want to see out of your young player. And I'm just happy he has the green light. I don't want to hear about advanced analytics in Summer League. You know what I mean? I don't want to hear about any of that.
We can't even find the stats, so why should there be advanced? Come on.
People are posting his shooting his no. I'm like, stop. We need our young players to show signs of having that dog in them, having that toughness, and he's showing great signs on defense as well. He's getting blocks. He's bringing it. Obviously, there's some. He's had some lapses on some plays, but for the most part, it seems like he's bringing that energy on ball. He's got a couple backside blocks in some games too, so it seems like he's making more strides on that end as well. So yeah, I think that's the biggest takeaway of what I've seen so far of Acuff is that he's fearless, and that's what we knew about him coming out of college.
We have the Kang Gang pod in studio with us. Christo, Johnny, RT, nice enough to spend some time. They're going to be with us this entire first hour, and I can look at our comment section. People thrilled that you guys are here. It's just a testament to what you guys have built for yourselves.
Thank you.
It's our pleasure to be able to have you. We have to take a break in just a second, but real quick, I wanted to ask you guys about just anything that stood out to you being in person because you just got back from Summer League in Las Vegas. I'm going to ask, and we're going to talk specifically when we come back from the break about Maxime Raynaud. So we'll talk about Max in just a second. But sitting there inside the Thomas and Mack Center, UNLV, anything that you saw that doesn't necessarily translate through the camera that you can only see by being there that just stood out to you guys for last night's game in particular against AJ Dybantsa in Washington?
Before we talk about the game, I just want to say, if you're an NBA fan, if you're a Kings fan, you need to go experience NBA Summer League. Even if you go for the first three, I would recommend go opening weekend. Everyone's there just walking around the Thomas and Mack Center. You're going to run into all the people you grew up watching. So let's get that out of the way. You need to just go experience.
It's a basketball festival. It's literally a basketball festival.
It's NBA Coachella. It's the greatest thing
Yeah,
ever.
that's a great way of putting it.
That's literally what it is. It's just so fun to be there. But yeah, in the game, the amount of Kings fans that did show up, that was incredible to see. Everyone, I saw a Sasha Vezenkov jersey in the crowd.
Hell yeah.
There we go. So the Kings fans showed up. But yeah, Acuff, to start the game, those 5 quick points, I'm like, guys, 30 points is coming.
Uh-oh.
It's coming. But I said it a little too early. But I will say, just seeing, we saw Acuff and Max for the first time. They had one little 2-man game that looked pretty nice. I'm like, guys, that's the future. So just the little things like that is what I noticed. But in particular, yesterday's game, Nick Clifford, I think his defense and his athleticism and that block by Dylan Cardwell on AJ Dybantsa, if that dunk went in, we would have been seeing that clip for the end of time. But the fact that Dylan... And I had these two, there was these 2 Wizards fans, diehard Wizards fans right next to us, and we were talking with them throughout the game, and they were just so impressed by Dylan's defense. And I was like, that's what he does. And so shouts out Dylan. That's definitely the highlight of yesterday's game.
Yeah, I think Christo kind of took what I was going to say, but it might have been, it might have been not too. You probably saw it on TV as well. You didn't have to be there to see it, but Nick Clifford's defense on AJ was insane. That was one of the coolest things to see. And, the the Kings Summer League head coach also said he was up for that challenge. He wanted that challenge. And
you could see
that. And I think, seeing it in person, because we got, we got there a little early, so we were able to get close to seats. So we were able to see how up in AJ's grill Nick was.
Yeah.
And I think that was the biggest thing. And obviously the Dylan Cardwell block, that's our boy DC. You know what I mean? He swatted the number 1 picks block out of there. But yeah, I think that's what stood out was just Nick's energy on defense, his willingness to guard the Wizards' best player. And then his offense, obviously, has looked great all of Summer League, right? His spot-up shooting. But I think Nick's defense is what stood out to me.
Or we'll take the break. We'll come back. We still got so much more to talk about. These guys are joining us the entire hour, all the way up until 1 o'clock. We'll talk about Maxime Raynaud, the game that he had last night, plus outlooks and thoughts on the season. What do you guys think the Kings rotation should look like? We'll project towards the future, have some fun with that as it continues. The Kang Gang podcast in with us, Matt and Kayla on Sactown Sports.
Take Sactown Sports with you everywhere you go with the Sactown Sports app. The most in-depth coverage of the Kings and 49ers. A library of written and video content. And all your favorite personalities all in one place. Download the Sactown Sports app today and get in on the action. Your local sports leader. Sactown Sports 1140.
If there's one thing you can count on, it's 24/7 protection when you bundle home and auto insurance with Progressive. And if there's two things you can count on, it's your smoke detector battery dying at 3 a.m. Not 3 p.m. on a Saturday when you have nothing going on, but in the middle of the night when you're fast asleep.
Oh, come on!
Get 24/7 protection when you bundle home and auto with Progressive. Just one more thing you can count on. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and third-party insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
And Doug. Limu and I created a trick to help you remember that you can customize your car insurance and save with Liberty Mutual. You see, the shirts Limu and I wear are yellow, and yellow is the color of lemons. And lemons grow on trees, and trees provide oxygen. And oxygen helps us breathe, and breathing is how you live. And you can live more life when you save money by customizing your car insurance. I agree, Limu. It's really quite simple. Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
When a person is seriously injured, there's no substitute for the personal legal relationship offered by the local NorCal firm of Ashton & Price. From the first attorney meeting, every important decision is made with a direct consultation with, and I can't believe I have to say this, a real, live, experienced, flesh and blood local attorney. It's called Home Court Advantage for a reason. Ashton & Price, serious local attorneys for serious people with serious injuries with no fee until we win. For the best local advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton & Price.
Whether it's date night, family night, or buddy night, Hagen Oaks has a bay for you. Reserve one of 3 Top Tracer bays from 6 to 11 p.m. through HagenOaks.com, and only those 3 bays are reservable. The rest of the driving range is still open for walk-ups. Play golf on world-famous courses while the kids try interactive games. Head to the Hangout for great food, cold drinks, and live sports on the TVs. Add monthly live music and putting tournaments, and you've got more than a driving range, you've got a night out. Hagen Oaks Golf Complex. Swing by and swing away.
If you have unfiled taxes or are in debt to the IRS, this is important news. Did you know the IRS has programs specifically designed to help people struggling with tax debt? Powerful tax assistance programs that can save you thousands if you qualify. No one knows these programs better than the experts at Optima Tax Relief, America's most trusted tax resolution firm, A-rated by the Better Business Bureau. Their award-winning tax attorneys and licensed professionals have resolved over $3 billion of tax debt for their clients. One call to Optima can start the process, helping to put an end to your worries about wage garnishment, asset seizure, and other aggressive IRS actions. Find the best options to solve your tax problems. Call the experts at Optima Tax Relief today for a free consultation.
Call 800-375-2922. 800-375-2922. 800-375-2922.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Hey, this is Jelly Roll. As many of you know, my song Winning Streak is about my own personal struggles with addiction. I first sought help for my addiction at 14 years old. Start your recovery journey. Choose a proven addiction treatment option that's right for you at ChooseChangeCA.org. The real you is worth recovering. Choose Change California provides access to proven treatment options for addiction to opioids and stimulants. ChooseChangeCA.org. This is your chance to recover your life.
In celebration of 80 years of 49ers football, Sactown Sports is counting down 80 of the most memorable moments that have shaped the team's storied legacy and winning tradition. Here's today's faithful flashback.
Number 43, Pinky Out. Ronnie Lott's finger amputation.
During the final game of the 1985 regular season, Ronnie Lott tackled Cowboys fullback Timmy Newsome and in the process crushed his left pinky finger. Following the season, doctors gave Lott 2 options: undergo a complex bone graft that would require a cast for months and delay his return, or amputate the tip of the finger above the first joint. Well, Lott famously chose to amputate the finger during the offseason. He didn't want to miss training camp or the start of the 1986 season. Ironically, he went on to lead the NFL that year with a career high of 10 interceptions for the 49ers.
Faithful Flashbacks on Sactown Sports 1140.
Matt and Kayla on Sactown Sports 1140.
Back in studio with a trio of really, really good guests, diehard Kings fans, great content creators, the Kang Gang podcast with us all hour long. Christo, Johnny, RT in studio, fresh back. You guys got in, 3 a.m. this morning? 3 a.m.?
Got home
got home
at
at
3.
3.
Yeah. Didn't go to bed till a little after 4.
Hey, grind doesn't stop.
Look at you guys.
Grind doesn't
Shout
stop.
out Southwest.
And now they're
Thank you for the delays. Thank you for the
And
delays.
now you guys are nice enough to join us here in studio. We appreciate it. So you guys were in the Thomas and Mack Center. You got to see last night's game. Now, you guys were also in the California Classic, or in the Golden One Center for the Cali Classic, right? All 3 games, right? Or at least one of the games. Yeah, either way, and you watched it on TV too. So you guys have obviously followed closely what Summer League has looked like so far for the Kings. But this was our first look at Maxime Raynaud after he missed the California Classic. He was with the French national team, put up some good performances over there in their World Cup qualifying games. Comes into Summer League and looks like a player that made the all-rookie team last year and had a really efficient game, even though the Sacramento Kings lost, put up some really good numbers. What was your guys' observations of the Frenchman now in his second year playing in Las Vegas in person?
I love to see that he's shooting the 3 ball more.
Yeah.
That was my biggest takeaway. I'm like, this is what we know you could do, and this is the perfect time to get those reps up. Just get comfortable catching and shooting. He's very, known for that pump fake, but I want to just see him let it fly. But yeah, early on he did look like a little slow because he hasn't played with our guys for a little bit, but then right after that he looked great, and then he got to the line a lot, and then his post moves looked way stronger. Way stronger. Yes. He looked quicker with the ball down low, and I was extremely impressed. But yeah, he's definitely, I think the time in France definitely will help him. Obviously playing with, French national team, they're not a team to mess with, so that's great company to be with in the summertime, because he's not going to be in summer leagues anymore after this one. So
and how about
spend
him?
Time with them.
How about him getting out in transition, beating up everybody down the floor for the dunk? Jonathan Mobo got the assist. He was like, "Damn, Max is fast."
Yeah,
he flew up the floor.
Yeah, no, he's been getting the reps in. You could tell just by watching him, like, he's a player that's gotten tick in the NBA, right? He looks poised. He looks like he knows what he's doing out there. His physicality when rebounding, and like Christo said, like, he's exploring his perimeter offense a lot more. I love the pump fakes in the 3, but, I want to see him let it fly a little bit more. We know he can make it. He's going to get those looks when the season starts, especially if he has lineups with DeMontis, with Cardwell. So, yeah, I love Max is showing us exactly who he is, right? He had a great first kind of debut in Vegas. And, yeah, so far so good.
And I also will say another thing, too, that I really liked. He was coming off playing against other people in other countries. Yeah. More physical players. Much more physical guys.
Lauri Markkanen.
He played against Lauri Markkanen. Yeah, that's the point. And he looked phenomenal in those games where in those qualifier games. So to translate that and have a 20-point double-double, you can't take that. That's just awesome. And he was going against some really tall people against the Wizards, like Will Riley, AJ Dybantsa, Felix Okporo. Those guys are just very lengthy. That's what was kind of my big takeaway from yesterday's game, was watching the Wizards just be so lengthy and so tall. But Max was just coming down with rebounds really hard, just great, efficient box outs. 12 rebounds and 20 points is a great stat line in the Summer League game, especially like with the minutes that are very, very lessly skewed than a 48-minute game. I felt like he could have had like a 30-15 game, especially if they could have kept that numbers up for sure. So
especially with that free throw rule,
Yeah, I know, right?
All of AJ's points, by the way, were coming from that rule.
Yes, they were.
But
he's
been that way. AJ's been that way since college, and that's like who AJ is. He's one of the more aggressive guys that gets to the free throw line, so he understands that, and I am very impressed with AJ Dybantsa. I think he's the real deal. And so is Caleb Wilson. We'll get into all the other ones too. But man, those two are our guys, though. Deal.
With Max, what I love is we have the Dylan Cardwell personality, where you can't miss it, right? When there's a big play or when he doesn't want to give the ball up or anything like that. But with Max, he's kind of like if you watch Max sneakily, like he's a little bit of a instigator. He's got like a hard nose, like Frenchman attitude. Like I love what he brings to the table too. A little bit edgy as well, which I love, which I feel like this team, he can only grow with that role more.
It's funny you say that. We were sitting with one of his friends, and he was
shout out Issa Silva.
Yeah, Issa Silva was like, Max is sassy.
Yeah,
Max is sassy.
He
just had us cracking up. But
yeah.
But I think the Cardwell-Max lineups are going to open up Max's game a lot more.
See, that's what I wanted to ask you guys about, though, because I'm very skeptical about the two center lineups, especially Max and Domas together. I don't believe it's going to work. Max and Dylan, we've seen a little bit, and they started together last night. And what I noticed is with Max shooting threes, okay, that could work. And when Dylan was on the floor, the interior defense was fine. When Dylan went out of the game and Max was playing center, the interior defense was definitely not fine.
Right.
But how do you guys feel about the two center lineup? The Kings have three centers as of now that all three deserve playing time. Domantas Sabonis, chief among them, is going to get 30 minutes a night, no matter if he's part of the future or not. Yeah. How do you feel about the two center combinations that the Kings are going to experiment with?
Yeah, I definitely think the Max and Dylan lineup is going to be a lot easier to watch than the Max and Domas lineup. And the one probably I'm most excited for, especially after last night. Like I feel like Dylan's interior presence just lets Max create and lets Max have kind of a more stress-free environment to work, right? To be more comfortable in that perimeter. The Max and Domas lineup, yeah, I kind of agree. It's gonna be hard to watch, but we should at least try it out just to see, how well they work together. And they had some limited tick, I think last season on the court together. So we'll see. I'm definitely more excited for the Dylan and Max lineup just because it'll help take the load off of Max. But I mean, let's try it out. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
this is this time to try different things out to explore, Max's abilities and whatnot. So, let's do it.
I'm also curious to see the Dylan Domas because
we saw that a tiny bit last year.
I'm excited to see a little bit more of that because I just think I think Dylan is the king of the vertical defending.
Yep.
But yeah, so I think having him protect our paint is crucial. And then like you guys were saying, I think Max, this will just maybe help him extend his game a little bit more and then show what he could do outside of the paint. So.
Yeah.
Something that stood out to me, too, about the way Max was playing yesterday, did you see they gave him a couple opportunities in the Sabonis role? They played him at the top of the key, top of the three-point arc, gave him an opportunity to run some DHOs through, and it would make sense, hey, if Max and Domas aren't going to play together a ton, you'd obviously like to run the same offense for all 48 minutes. Domas comes out of the game, and for the 20 minutes that he's not playing, Max picks up right where he left off. Like, of course, you want to get Dylan the ball, you want to get Zach LaVine the ball, and other guys need their touches too. But we might be seeing the Kings and Doug Christie, who talked about wanting to get the ball back in Domas's hands, getting back into, hey, we're going to run the offense through our big man like Beam Team 1.
Yeah, and I think that's a great, effective way of playing it because we saw a lot of what during that Beam Team era was coming off DHOs, hitting open threes. We're trying to build that, emulate that too, especially with the guys that we drafted with Karaban and Sharp. Those are very, very much like those three picks, and including Darius Acuff Jr., scream 2022, 2023 Beam Team players that made it very effective and fun to watch. That made sense why Domas was being so value high, right? Yeah. So they're trying to emulate that with younger players because Sabonis is still an offensive hub. He is the hub of this team, and that's not going to go anywhere. Obviously, he dealt with a lot of injuries. I still believe he is still one of the better big men in this league. He's still a top 10 center in this league. So it's just a matter of him getting back to that form, and I know he will. And I think the offense that he's going to surround him with, guys like LaVine and Acuff, will help that out tremendously.
We have the Kang Gang podcast in studio. One more segment with them, and when we come back, we'll debate or talk about the question that everyone's going to talk about all the way up until training camp and probably through training camp. What the hell does this starting lineup look like in Sacramento, at least with the roster being the way it is? We'll talk our way through it, plus more with the Kang Gang podcast. Christo, Johnny, RT in studio with us right here on Sactown Sports.
After a promising rookie season and an appearance in the FIBA World Cup qualifiers, Maxime Raynaud made his presence felt at NBA Summer League. Has the reigning all-rookie second-teamer shown he can be a key offensive threat alongside Domantas Sabonis this season?
your exclusive home for Kings basketball.
Sactown Sports 1140.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Ask yourself this question. Is it really worth holding on to that timeshare that you know you need to get rid of? Here's the truth. The average maintenance fee just went up over 17%. That could have been 117%, and there's nothing you can do about it. When you buy a timeshare, you give them a blank check for annual maintenance and assessment fees. I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group. For 15 years, I've helped over 50,000 families cancel their timeshare. Not sell it, not transfer it, cancel it. Did you buy a timeshare because they told you it was a great investment and your maintenance fees would never go up? That's a lie. Are you ready to get rid of your timeshare once and for all? Simply call us and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit that explains all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your timeshare exit kit. 800-822-1490. That's 800-822-1490. 800-822-1490.
Now through July 26th at Big O Tires, get $200 in savings on 4 select Michelin or BF Goodrich in-stock tires with installation purchase. Disposal fees extra. Savings include $120 instant plus $80 rebate. Not good with other offers. See Big O dealer for pricing.
Patrick was way behind on his IRS taxes.
I was in way over my head. The total amount ended up being somewhere just over $30,000. $30,000.
Then the IRS came to collect.
Started getting letter after letter. A lien had been filed against me. They were going to basically hang me completely out to dry.
He had to do something.
That's when I reached out to Optima Tax Relief.
Patrick's life quickly got a lot easier.
It was very easy, pretty much hands off. They picked up the ball and ran with it.
And how'd it go?
I couldn't believe it. I had to ask 2 or 3 times. I saved an incredible amount of money.
How does Patrick feel about Optima?
Couldn't be happier. They definitely helped me. Optima Tax Relief, the best place to call. They're the best in the business.
Do what Patrick did and call Optima Tax Relief for a free consultation. Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Testimonial from an actual client. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Power Business Technology is proud to be a 100% independent, locally owned and managed Toshiba copier dealer. Local ownership cuts out the red tape, allowing ourselves to never be too busy to personally answer the call when our clients need us. Recognized for excellence in service execution, training, and customer service, we're proud to be named a Toshiba ProMasters Elite Dealer since 2021. Contact us today for all of your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BZ. That's 844-769-3729. Or visit us at powercopiers.com.
Country in the Park 2, presented by your California Army National Guard, October 23rd at Heart Health Park at Cal Expo with Bailey Zimmerman, Russell Dickerson, plus more. Enjoy line dancing, live DJs, mechanical bull, and food trucks. Tickets start at just $70. Country in the Park 2, October 23rd at Heart Health Park at Cal Expo with Michelob Ultra, the California Office of Traffic Safety, and Caltrans. More info at CITPFest.com.
It's time for the 2-minute drill. Kayla Anderson has the ball, and she's taking us around the world of football. It's Kayla's 2-minute drill on Matt and Kayla.
Little pump fake for you, a quick audible. Kayla's 2-minute drill is going to be pushed to the end of the show at 1:30 because right now we've got the Kang Gang podcast in studio. Christo, Johnny, RT. One more segment with the 3 of them. And I'm going to ask them the easiest question in all of Sacramento, right? Because everybody knows the answer to this question. Definitely not debated. It's definitely not confusing. What the hell is this starting 5 going to look like opening night? If you got your Doug Christie, right? And first off, I will say this, and I'm sure you guys can echo this. It's nice to see, while there's a lot of this roster that needs to be proven, it's nice to see that Doug has more options now in terms of players that fit at least how they want to play. At first in the past, it was like, we want to play this way. And then you looked at last year's roster and went, how? Now you're starting to see a little bit more of the roster echoing the image, but you still have got veterans here that you need to play and try and find the balance. So if you're Doug Christie going into training camp as of right now, what are you penciling down as your starting 5?
Well, I'll definitely say we still have a log jam issue. There's obviously a lot of talent on this team, and it's hard to get everyone the minutes they most likely deserve. I would say Acuff at the 1. You got to put him in there
right away.
At the 2, Doug Christie is going to put Levine at the 2. I know that for sure. I would like to see Keegan at the 3, finally get him playing at his natural position, and he could guard whoever like he always does. At the 4, I want to see Precious at the 4. I think what he's done, he obviously is. I think we got him for a very great deal for the production that he gave us last year, and I think he's only going to continue to do at least that going forward. And then at the 5 will be Sabonis, and also I think depth is just so important. We have with the guys that I didn't list. That means DeAndre Hunter's coming off the bench, Maxime Raynaud, Dylan Cardwell, Malik Monk, Emmanuel Sharp. I mean, there's so many guys that round out this team that I'm not really too worried about the starting lineup, but when it gets to the end, final 5 minutes of the game, that's when I'm going to be maybe a little bit more stressed out. But what do you guys think?
I mean, I agree with Christo. I think that starting lineup is really, really the way I would envision it too. You can even see DeAndre Hunter play the 3 or 4 in that spot too. I'd be very curious to see how that is, especially given his contract. So I would be very curious to see. That's going to be the main thing I'm very interested in, is who is going to be that 3 or 4 between him and Precious. Because I really think that Keegan his true spot is the 3. Sure. And I think that that's where he really thrives. So you're kind of have to debate, like, do you want valuable defense and shot creation with DeAndre Hunter, or are you want like a guy that wants to grab rebounds and plays with a lot of energy in Precious Achiuwa? So that's my big thing as well. And I also would like to see what the whole backup point guard situation is going to be as well. That's what I was going to ask. Yeah, so I'm very curious because Monk can be able to handle the ball. We could see that. I think Sharp, with the way he'll play, I'll be very curious to see if he earns that backup point guard role for this team, because he's very, very capable. I wouldn't also mind to see them bring back Russell Westbrook in a situation, because giving a 15 to 20 minute to mentor Acuff could be a really, really big valuable thing for him to really, really thrive as a player. Because if he has Russell Westbrook as his vet and his mentor, that is an incredible, incredible player to learn from the game.
Yeah, it would be great to get Russ back. I think Scott said in his last press conference, Russ outplayed probably that veteran's minimum contract that he got. So if we can get him for that price again, I think that would be a great mentorship for Darius. But I think, these guys said the most popular lineup that's going out. I've seen some lineups that put Hunter at the 3 and then Keegan at the 4 and then have Precious sit. But I personally would rather have Precious out there, like these two guys said. And then Chrissy obviously loves Precious. The fans love Precious. He comes with energy. He's a natural 4. Keegan's best position is at the 3. That's where he thrives the most. And then, we'll see. I think Sabonis and Acuff. I think Sabonis is going to do a lot to make Acuff's life easier, right? He's the best screen setter in the NBA. He's obviously the best, if not one of the best rebounders in the NBA. So as much as we want to see Max in that starting lineup, I think Sabonis and Acuff are going to have really good chemistry. I think he's going to make Darius's life a lot easier out of DHOs, get him a lot of open looks, get him driving downhill on the basket. I think I agree with my two counterparts here in the Acuff, LaVine, Keegan, Precious, Sabonis starting 5.
So you just mentioned Acuff and LaVine. So I think most of us think the reason, you have to play LaVine. Like, look at the contract. Like, it's hard to say he's coming off the bench or he's limited in minutes at least starting the season. But there is the concern, and we've talked about this on the show, right now with Darius Acuff Jr. still learning, and improving his defense, and having Zach, who that's just not part of his game really. Like, maybe the effort will be put in. But are you guys concerned at all with those two out on the court together with that defensive effort?
Yeah, a little bit. I think, though, LaVine has to know this is kind of an audition for him, right? Is. Like, he wants to be on a contender. I think his agent is telling him, like, look, Zach, and I don't have intel on this or anything like that, but I'm assuming he's saying, Zach, we need to show the league that you still got other things other than scoring, right? Yeah. You had a decent scoring year last year, but it's like you need to show you can play make. You need to show you could be on a winning team, make winning plays. So I hope that that's kind of the sentiment he goes into the season, reminding himself as, and hopefully that can help bridge the chemistry and give Acuff some more shots, and he can help play make for Acuff, and they can have a good 2-man game. So we'll see. But this is an audition year, right? He wants to be on a contender. That's no secret, right? It's moving that $49 million to a team that would want him, right? But obviously teams get desperate at the trade deadline. So we'll see. But I think he's going to try to do other things to diversify his game, to show the rest of the league that, hey, I still have value in this that I could bring to a contender.
I think also, Johnny just made a lot of great points. I think the one thing that makes sense too, and I think also you mentioned contract, right, Kayla, is like you also have to kind of play DeAndre Hunter based off his contract as well. So, and also just based on the fact that Acuff and LaVine are not the most tremendous defenders, you kind of need Keegan and Hunter to be those guys.
You didn't lie.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not lying, but I'm just saying, like, you need, and I think at the end of the day, you do need that defensive thing. So ideally, all three of us want Precious to be the 4, but if I was going in the coach's mindset and saying, like, hey, we need those 2 wing defenders that can really do it. I mean, I'm going to shout out Alan Stiles right here. He was quoting about the 9-1 Knicks. Like, those are wing defenders that you would love with Keegan and Hunter. So I think that's going to be the day one starting lineup, but our ideal lineup has not changed with Precious at the 4 and DeAndre Hunter coming off the bench.
Yeah, I'm leaning more towards what you were talking about there. I think one of the reasons that Scott brought in DeAndre Hunter was not just that he could get off of Dennis Schroeder's money, but also that it gives the Kings some versatility at the wing/forward spot defensively that they just haven't had. And one of the biggest losses, I think, from last season was the fact that we didn't get to see Keegan and DeAndre together at all. We only got to see DeAndre for a game and a half before he got his eyeball gouged out.
Yeah. So, poor guy, geez.
I'm very much looking forward to seeing the versatility of those two. And I've never bought into the excuse that Keegan's doing so much defensively that's what's hurting his shot offensively. But if you take a little bit off of his plate, does that open up more opportunities for him offensively to be more of the player that we were hoping he would be when he was shooting over 40% on Beam Team 1? So I think right now my leader in the clubhouse is love Precious a lot, but my leader in the clubhouse is starting the 2 of those forwards together because I think because you're going to have Domas in the paint and you're going to have LaVine and Acuff on the perimeter, you're going to need 2 long, athletic forwards that are flying around the perimeter just bailing people out because we know the Kings like to switch a lot on defense, and teams are going to try and force switches to isolate Acuff or isolate LaVine. You're going to need those 2 guys flying around playing defense.
Got to have them to close out, too. That's the other thing. You got to have guys that are willing to come in and just do the dirty work. So, and DeAndre Hunter is also a guy that can get his shot off, too, right?
Yeah.
Like, he's not like some guy that averages 8 points. No, he's averaged 15 points in the past. So he's very capable of adding to this offense too with his shot creation. He's able to get his own shot too at a very his own way. That's what I was impressed by with the short time that we have. But also the other thing you also brought up, Matt, is health. Health is a huge thing as well. And that I would love to see the Kings just have a really healthy season because last year we just got absolutely decimated by injuries. And I would love to see this team just stay healthy for a full 82 games. I think if we were more healthier, we would have won a lot more games in this situation. Granted, we probably wouldn't have Darius Acuff, but I think also in this situation too, now that we're going to have a more healthier team, fingers crossed, that's the big thing I want to see is just them staying healthy and just playing together as a team.
I think, too, if we know anything about Doug Christie's coaching style, it's that whoever starts the game isn't necessarily going to finish the game, right? He likes to use what works. So maybe Precious starts opening night, and then he realizes maybe at that halftime of opening night that, the Hunter-Keegan lineup works better. So, I mean, it's kind of comparing apples to apples. Like, we'll see. I definitely do like the Hunter-Keegan lineup in the right situations, right? If there's a team we're going against that's a little bit smaller in that front court, right, I could see that lineup working, and maybe Doug kind of starts that out for the majority of the season. But yeah, I mean, it's going to be a fluid situation. We at least know the 4 of the 5, it seems like, right? But yeah.
Right.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure Doug even said recently, I'm not really too worried about who starts. It's obviously who finishes. So I'm even open to the Mike Brown approach where you do 10 different starting lineups just to kind of keep throwing paint on the wall, see what sticks, So, yeah, I think I want to go back to what you said about Keegan Murray with, with his obviously having a lot on his plate defensively. Maybe that will open up him with the 3. Obviously DeMar DeRozan's one of the greatest, scorers ever, but not having that ISO heavy player on your team, I think that's going to, give Keegan more of an offensive leash to actually show what he could do. Because when he's more of a focal point, he's going to be able to do a lot more than just shoot, I think. Because when he drives the ball too, Keegan,
he's been good.
He's really good there too. So I just think with the new roster, we're heading somewhere. We're heading, I don't know where, but
it's better.
Well, guys, this has been awesome. Thank you so much for joining us in studio. Keep up the phenomenal work that you're doing. If you're not following the Kang Gang podcast, you should be. They're a great follow on Instagram. You can see all their clips and all their songs over there. Of course, you can watch their show as well in depth all season long, no matter how you're feeling. You can relate to these guys who are going through it with you, just like we do here on Sactown Sports. This will not be the last time that we collab and get together. So keep up the great work. It's a pleasure, truly our pleasure, to have you guys in. You should be proud of yourselves with everything that you're building. It epitomizes what Kings fandom is, in my opinion. So keep up the great stuff, and thanks for making the time after arriving at 3 a.m.
Yeah. We wouldn't have it any other way. We knew we would be here no matter what. Even if Southwest pushed us to this morning, we would have found a way to get.
I'm still going to ask for a voucher.
Get your
I'm still going to ask for a voucher.
Give them. Hey,
I got $100.
DM them on X, and they'll follow through.
Kayla knows the strategy.
Yeah.
All they gave us was
right.
pretzels. I'm like, I don't want pretzels,
Yeah.
Southwest. I don't want these pretzels.
Different stuff, different bags. Like, what are they doing giving you pretzels at this
Change
point?
the seasoning.
I
Change the
agree.
seasoning.
Come on.
Put some chimichurri on there.
Yeah. Well, Matt, Kayla, thank you for having us. It's an honor to be on the show.
thank you
And
guys.
I always, whenever I go to work, I always listen to the station. So this is just, this is a treat. So this is a real treat. So
I appreciate you guys. We love your stuff.
We appreciate it. Well, thank you for taking the time. We'll take the break. We still have an hour long remaining in the show before we hand it over to the vacationer Alan Stiles and Whitey
The
Gleason.
shirtless boys.
And Whitey Gleason, who's actually working in Las Vegas. We'll talk to them at 2 o'clock. Coming up next, though, got to talk a little football because I think Brock Purdy was a bit disrespected today in the top quarterback rankings on ESPN amongst executives, scouts, and coaches. We'll talk about that when we come back. Shout out to the Kang Gang podcast. Check them out, and we'll be back with more right here on Sactown Sports.
Sacramento's young talent is on full display in Las Vegas, and Kings two-way forward Jonathan Mobo continues to make his presence felt as he continues to make an impact around the rim, on the glass, and as a shot blocker. Will the young big man play his way into a larger role this season?
Your exclusive home for Kings basketball.
Sactown Sports 1140.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Hi, I'm Justin Gingery. One of the most common questions I receive is, what makes us different from other law firms? At Gingery, Hammer & Associates, we handle your case from beginning to the end. Whether your case reaches a settlement, whether it must go into litigation, or whether it has to go all the way to trial, we will be with you along the entire way. And because we are committed to your case, we are as invested as you are in making sure you get the outcome you deserve.
When you get an injury, just call Gingery.
And we're live from the living room as Doug eyes up the matchday spread. He's reaching for the Buffalo wing. Perfect. Hang on, what's this? Oh, he's gone for a can of Pepsi too. Incredible. What a finish. Sensational combination. Look at the delight on his face. There's no doubt about it. It just tastes better. Match days deserve Pepsi. Food deserves Pepsi. Grab a pack of Pepsi Zero Sugar for today's match. It's poetry in motion.
The Gold Rush Classic, where the stars and guitars shine. The Gold Rush Classic is a celebrity pro-am golf tournament, $1 million hole-in-one, a skins game, a celebrity draft party, and a concert featuring the Cripple Creek Band. The Gold Rush Classic raises money for Make-A-Wish, Jordan's Guardian Angels, First Tee of Sacramento, Rancho Murrieta Youth Sports, and other worthwhile children's charities. The Gold Rush Classic takes place August 6th and 7th in Rancho Murrieta. Come join the fun, raise money for charity, and play golf with a celebrity like Barnes, Fernandez, Jackson, Lloyd, Merriweather, Ostertag, Polanese, Sharp, Schumann, or our own Greg Vaughn. Golf and concert sponsorship are still available at goldrushclassic.org. That's goldrushclassic.org. The Gold Rush Classic is sponsored by Guzetta Jewelers, Roseville's premier jewelry store. They've got you covered for any occasion.
Remember when a driving range was just
A driving range? Yeah, Hagen Oaks doesn't remember either. Reserve one of 3 top Tracer bays from 6 to 11 p.m. at hagenoaks.com. Only 3 bays are reservable, while the rest of the range remains open for walk-ups. Play virtual golf, then grab food, drinks, and a seat in front of the TVs at the hangout. Throw in live music, and suddenly your quick stop at the range turns into hours of fun. Hagen Oaks Golf Complex. Side effects may include laughter, bragging rights, and one friend insisting he would have won if the wind wasn't blowing.
This is Sactown Sports 1140.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave.
What's up? It's Matt George.
What's good? It's Alan Stiles.
With the most trusted voices in the community.
This is Jason Ross.
Hey, it's Kayla Anderson.
It's Whitey Gleason.
Ready to help promote your business, both as partners and customers. All you have to do is ask. Pick up the phone, dial pound 250 and say, grow my business to get connected with a team member today. That's pound 250 and say, grow my business. Our team will review your product, quickly pair you with a perfect endorser, and create video and audio samples all at no cost or obligation to you. With the most live and local on-air lineup, a dynamic content-driven website, and a state-of-the-art mobile app, Sactown Sports 1140 is tailor-made to help you connect with a sports audience in Sacramento. So why wait? Dial pound 250 today. Say, grow my business, and let us help take you to the next level.
KHD HD1 Sacramento. KYMX HD3 Sacramento.
Sactown Sports 1140, your local sports leader.
It's Matt George and Kayla Anderson on Sactown Sports 1140.
Big thank you to Christo, Johnny, and RT, the Kang Gang podcast, joining us for an hour in studio. Those guys do great work. Check out and support their podcast and their show covering all things Sacramento Kings all year long, but especially during the regular season. Kayla, what do you say we talk a little bit of football?
Let's get into it. I know we've got training camps starting up here real soon.
This week.
So it's exciting because we're going to have a little bit of NBA to still talk about with Summer League, but then we'll get right back into football and then back into NBA.
Yep.
So we got it all for you here.
We'll get to your 2-minute drill in the next segment, all the stories happening around the National Football League. But this one, we're separating for a reason. You have been sharing with us over the course of the last couple of weeks. ESPN has been talking to anonymous executives, agents, coaches who have been ranking different positions. Well, finally, we got the quarterback position. And
here we go.
Kayla, Brock Purdy ain't on it.
No, he's not.
Brock Purdy, they rank the top 10, by the way. Brock Purdy is not one of the 10 listed. I'll just run through them really quick, and I know you have thoughts on this. Number 10, Caleb Williams of the Chicago Bears. Number 9, Jared Goff of the Lions. Drake May, number 8 from New England. Justin Herbert, number 7 from the Chargers. Dak Prescott, 6 from the Cowboys. Lamar Jackson, number 5 from Baltimore. Joe Burrow, number 4 from Cincinnati. Matthew Stafford, the reigning MVP, number 3 with the Rams. Number 2, Patrick Mahomes of the Kansas City Chiefs, which means Buffalo Bills star Josh Allen, ranked by executives, coaches, and scouts as the top NFL quarterback. Before we get to the Brock Purdy side of things, any issue with the top of that top 10, with Josh Allen being number 1 ahead of Patrick Mahomes? And how about Lamar Jackson being number 5? I did not expect that.
Yeah, I don't have huge gripe about at least the top spots.
Yeah.
Because Josh Allen, let's all be very clear on this. While I think every year we're saying, well, this is the year, the window's closing for the Buffalo Bills. He is so unique and so good when you see him out there. Without Josh Allen, it'd be hard to know what the Buffalo Bills were, because it's so centered on not only his passing game, but his ability to run. He's just a big, tough guy. He's tough.
Yeah.
And I think the one thing we're waiting on is getting this team over the hump. But as long as he's there is belief that he can do it. But he's 30 years old. He's getting to that spot where, okay, if you're going to do it, you got to do it soon. But I think he's had an incredible, coming off of an incredible year. And when I look at the number 2 spot, Patrick Mahomes, look, Patrick Mahomes, no matter what is going on around him, where there's been some deficiencies with his wide receivers, I mean, he has not had a lot of steady Eddie, at least wide outs in the past couple of years. There's been a lot of drop, but he just doesn't make excuses. He always finds a way to kind of help his team get over the hump. Obviously, the injury did not help him in that situation. Now, you could argue, though, Matthew Stafford could be the number 2. And nobody was expecting him to maybe do what he did again at the age of 38. I mean, last season, what he did, I'll be the first to say I did not see that coming. I thought it would be a regression in terms of his health. He's battled shoulder injuries before. So what he did was incredible. He obviously won in terms of most valuable player.
Yep.
So I would have to say maybe put him at 2 would be the only gripe with the top 3.
He was ranked 6th last year.
Yeah.
He's obviously up to number 3 this year. But
I'd also switch Joe Burrow and Lamar Jackson around.
Yeah.
Because Joe Burrow was hurt a good chunk of the year too.
Well, the way I look at this too is if they are at their best, who is the best? And I do agree that while Patrick Mahomes has certainly won a lot and is an incredible quarterback, Josh Allen being the full package with how strong of a runner that he is, in addition to the cannon of an arm that he has, like I appreciate this ranking because it acknowledges how unbelievably talented Josh Allen is while also acknowledging the weight of expectation upon his shoulders with the Bills. Like you talked about, every single year is they got to get it done. They got to get it done. Now there's a brand new stadium that they're opening up and an extra level of got to get it done because the window is starting to close. They're not on the rise anymore. Now they're either at the top, they're just shy of the top, but they're starting to slide backwards, right? So there's that element of it. Brock Purdy was listed as an honorable mention. And before I read the line that was said about him by an NFC executive, I want to ask you, are you okay with Brock not being in this top 10? And if he is in this top 10, who are you taking out of the top 10 in order to put him in it?
I am okay.
You're okay with him not being top 10?
First of all, do we remember, too, it's hard to fully evaluate a quarterback when they just haven't played a lot of games. He played 9 games last year. I more so remember what Mac Jones did during the time that he played than I do Brock Purdy. And I know Brock was fine, like, down the stretch and everything. I understand that. But you're more so, if you talked about the season as a whole, talking about Mac Jones coming in for Brock Purdy and how great Mac Jones did.
Right.
Again, in a really quarterback-friendly system that Kyle Shanahan runs. And I'm not taking anything away from quarterbacks in that situation. But I need to see Brock Purdy, again, play what he did in 2024. 15-plus games. 2023, 16-plus games. I need to see that full package of games to see how he's clearly improving and growing as a quarterback.
Especially with the contract.
Especially with the contract. So I'm okay with this, of him being outside of the top 10. Look, you could always make the argument, I know this is not going to go over well, but Justin Herbert is also one of those quarterbacks that he always falls short of what the goal is.
Yep.
And they just can't make it over the hump in playoffs. He gets them there, though. And credit to him, he played with a wrist injury, and he was tough.
Yep.
But when it comes down to it, it's like, what can you do for us in terms of the long-term goal? And I think the Chargers are always kind of short of that, too. But I still think Herbert's a really good quarterback.
If you're having just the conversation of which quarterback, how I believe them to be, who do I want more, Justin Herbert or Brock Purdy, I want Brock Purdy because Brock Purdy's won and played in more meaningful games than Herbert has. Now, if the conversation is take Justin Herbert and put him with Kyle Shanahan and Brock Purdy goes with Harbaugh in L.A.,
yeah,
okay, that's a different conversation because what could Shanahan do with a quarterback as talented as Herbert? Like, for me personally, I'm taking Brock Purdy over Justin Herbert. Now, we could do this for all of the guys at the bottom of the top 10. Caleb Williams or Brock Purdy, who would you rather have? For me, it's Caleb, just based off of the star potential.
I think because we have seen him take a little bit of a jump. Now, he's not all the way there for me yet. And by the way, he is surrounded by talent, you guys. And they improved his offensive line so much last year.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not saying that's the only reason why he's improved. He's done a lot of things to mature as a quarterback too. Got to get a little bit past that, but I'm okay with Caleb Williams being in the top 10.
Mm-hmm. What about Jared Goff? Would you rather have Jared Goff or Brock Purdy?
Jared Goff had a bit of a rough year.
Yeah, stinky.
And I think there's a reason, this might be kind of blunt, but there's a reason why the Rams did the trade when they did for Matthew Stafford. And Detroit had a couple of really good years with Jared Goff, and at the highest moment, I don't know if they can get back to that level. I'm hoping for their sake that they can, because Detroit is a great fan base as well. You talk about dedicated fans that fall short. Detroit is definitely one of those fan bases, but Goff took a step back last year, in my opinion. He truly did.
An NFL coordinator said, the guy wins. He's going to find a completion if not under pressure. Mature pocket passer with a plus arm who can layer the ball at all levels. Apparently, Goff appeared on nearly 60% of all the ballots to earn a spot in the top 10. So, obviously, Jared Goff is very well respected around the league. Am I crazy? I think I'd prefer to have Brock Purdy over Jared Goff at this point, but I could be. Maybe I'm just too hard on Goff's season that he had last year.
Do you look at it in a way that if you, though, were to put Goff in San Francisco versus, I'm just strictly saying, Goff in San Francisco versus Purdy.
Yeah.
Like
it's the Kyle Shanahan effect.
Right.
Like how much is it Kyle?
But you'd still take Brock, right?
Probably.
But if you put Brock in Detroit, who would you take? It's very, because I just feel like some fits are better in certain offenses.
I think Kyle Shanahan, and I love Dan Campbell. I think Kyle Shanahan's a way better coach than Dan Campbell is.
Yeah.
But I love Dan Campbell. But I don't, let's put it this way. If Brock Purdy is Mr. Irrelevant, drafted by the Lions instead of the Niners, I don't know if Brock Purdy has anywhere close to the career he's at.
Mm-hmm.
The Kyle Shanahan effect.
And that's the benefit of being a quarterback in that system, and why Mac Jones is kind of happy with being here still as a backup. Because if anything, he looks at it as, hey, I'm going to continue to grow and to earn maybe a starting job somewhere. Mm-hmm. Why not take advantage of the Kyle Shanahan, what do you say, Kyle Shanahan tax or whatever?
Kyle Shanahan
whatever
effect.
It is, yeah.
This one doesn't surprise me, yeah. Based off the season he had last year and the explosion of the New England Patriots, yeah, Drake May over Brock Purdy makes sense to me. Perfect sense to me. I mean, he was a Super Bowl quarterback.
He was impressive last year.
Are you surprised at all? I'm not really. But are you surprised at all that Sam Darnold is not? He's an honorable mention, but Sam Darnold is not on this list after being a Super Bowl winning quarterback.
I get the Super Bowl winning part, and I'm very hard on Sam Darnold, even though I'm a Seahawks fan. He did what it took down the stretch of not making those big mistakes. That's what I was really scared of all season long. Mm-hmm. When it came down to winning games, sometimes it was like, was Sam Darnold going to throw an interception? Mm-hmm. Sam had his moments throughout the season where he made us bite our nails a little bit. But I'll give him credit. He did enough down the stretch, but I'm sorry, that defense is what won them a Super Bowl.
No, of course.
So I'm okay with Sam being an honorable mention. I truly am.
Which of these honorable mentions do you feel is the biggest snub? Sam Darnold, Jaden Daniels of the Washington Commanders, Jordan Love of the Packers, Brock Purdy of the Niners, Baker Mayfield of the Buccaneers, Trevor Lawrence of the Jaguars, Jalen Hurts of the Philadelphia Eagles. Bo Nix, Daniel Jones, and C.J. Stroud also got votes, but I would put the three of them out of this conversation.
Yeah.
The biggest snub.
Baker, I don't think gets enough love. I don't think Baker Mayfield, I think being in Tampa, we forget about the Bucs sometimes, now especially since Mike Evans isn't there. I think Baker kind of goes under the radar just a little bit. Mm-hmm. Now, look, that division isn't that strong, so maybe that's another reason why. But, I mean, I think Baker's still a really good quarterback. And what I've loved about Baker Mayfield is he was able to turn his career around. Where it could have gone where quarterbacks go to die, it is Cleveland. And usually you never come back from the Cleveland curse. But he was able to rejuvenate his career in Tampa.
Escaped.
So I do think that was not a snub, but I think being able to get a little bit more attention, it's tough to do.
I think an NFL coordinator said he's a winner. He can make every throw. Fearless teammates seem to love to play for him. I do think there is a conversation. I'm not necessarily the highest on him because I think things have cooled off a lot. But I think there is a conversation for Jalen Hurts being a little bit of a snub here. Because there's obviously a lot that happened in Philly and a lot that they need to clean up. But Jalen Hurts was really, really, really good not too long ago.
He's never been awful. What I think is Jalen Hurts, the toughest part to be able to identify what the problem is or why there is so much, not hate, but there's so much picking apart of Jalen Hurts every single year. Mm-hmm. Even when he takes him to the Super Bowl, wins the Super Bowl, has a great performance. Even taking him to the Super Bowl, not winning it, having a good performance. He's in other categories, it goes up and down sometimes because he's gone through an offensive coordinator every single year.
Yeah, that's hard.
And it's so hard to be able to, maneuver things depending on your offensive coordinator each and every year. And they're going to have another one in Philadelphia this year as well. So it's one of those things that it's hard to really understand exactly what's going on there because there are so many inconsistencies every single year with the offensive coordinating position.
Here's what an NFC executive had to say about Brock Purdy. I'm curious your thoughts on this. He's got two superpowers, layering the ball and short area quickness to stay alive. He's elite in those two areas.
This is Purdy?
This is about Brock Purdy, an NFC executive said that about him.
I mean, it's fair.
Is that what you think Brock Purdy is best at? I mean, clearly this executive feels like the thing that Brock's best at, layering the ball and short area quickness to stay alive.
Yeah, and I mean, that's the ability to, get it out, and he's going to have more weapons this year to be able to maybe achieve some of that. Mm-hmm. I just think he does lead a team well, and I do think he has that, lead by example, follow me, people love him. If you talk to any of the players that play with Brock Purdy, they speak highly of him. And maybe it is because he was that last pick of the NFL draft, the Mr. Irrelevant pick, and he's going out and trying to prove something every single time he steps out on that field. I think he's just naturally got that knack to be able to demand respect from his teammates. But again, I do not, I can't subscribe to being on the field for half the season.
Yeah.
I just never can fully understand how you grow as a player or continue to build. Because again, he's still young enough. He's got plenty of years left where he can expand his game.
Yeah. The two biggest things that I need to see from Purdy this year, one is staying healthy, staying on the field. And number two is making the players around him better. You've had so many weapons for so long and you get credit for that. And you also have some credit taken from you for that. You get credit taken from you and given to you because you play for Kyle Shanahan. But
that's always going to be something too,
Will you make Ricky Pearsall better?
Yeah.
Will you make Stribling better? Will you find a way to get Mike Evans back to what Mike Evans was when he was with Tampa Bay? Can you elevate the talent around you? That's the biggest question that I have with Brock Purdy as the franchise quarterback, and he's going to not just have an opportunity to prove that this year. I'd argue he has to do that if the Niners want any chance in that NFC West division. Yeah. Any chance.
That's a big part of it, and clearly I've noted this several times. You've got to get that defense back to being a competitor in that division, especially because that division defensively, minus the Arizona Cardinals, is pretty good, is pretty legit. And the Rams only added in the offseason to their defensive roster, which I liked the moves that they made, especially in the back end. And obviously up front recently with Myles Garrett. It is so hard to not argue. Adding a piece like that can truly make a difference. It's like the stats we give quarterbacks, like edge rushers like Myles Garrett, they can truly impact the game the way he does it. It's just incredible to look at his stats and know that he's still putting up those numbers.
You were talking about Brock Purdy a second ago, and it dawned on me while you were talking that we've worked together for 6 months, and I've never asked your opinion on this label that's given to quarterbacks like Brock Purdy, which is, I know, a very hot button label and topic amongst the NFL. And of course, you've been around the NFL as much as you are. It's more of a negative label than it is a positive, even though it's so important. The game manager label for Brock Purdy. What do you think of that label and the overall negative connotations to that label?
Okay, so I don't think it should always right away be negative.
I agree.
But it depends on what is surrounding you. So I don't think a quarterback that is put in a really good position, surrounded by talent, there's nothing wrong with that. And sometimes those quarterbacks can just not make mistakes. I'm looking at, honestly, what Sam Darnold did in Seattle last year. Like, for the most part, he did enough right and didn't make too many mistakes and down the stretch in the playoffs to win it, like to help win a Super Bowl for that team. But also you knew you had what you had on the other side of the ball. So game manager, it does get a negative reaction. And I think if you take that and just are happy with that, like, and never expand your game, then that could be an issue. That's why with Brock Purdy, game manager is not necessarily the worst thing, but he does need to, like you said, improve the wide receivers around him that are younger. Because at some point, Christian McCaffrey's not going to be there.
Right.
Like, he can kind of be that, or he could have kind of been that in the past with what they had surrounding him and that really good defense. But it's going to be changing here because a lot of these older players around him, the core, they're going to be gone. And there is going to be a lot more attention on him. He's going to have to make plays more. He's going to have to make the game-winning play more. He's going to have to stay healthy enough to do that.
Yeah, and every elite quarterback in the league is a good game manager. Like, they know how to manage the game.
You don't want to not be a good game manager, right?
But the game manager term is another word, or has
saying
been
you're not as
used
talented.
to say you're average.
Yeah.
But you can win because of the pieces around you. Yeah. You're a good game manager. Like, a lot of people will call Jimmy Garoppolo a game managing quarterback. And I understand that to some extent. But I think from what we've seen from Brock, and we need to see more of it, but from what we've seen from Brock to this point, Brock is not Jimmy Garoppolo. Brock is capable of making plays with his feet. Brock is capable of not throwing that, here's the Jimmy G interception a game that you know is always coming. Brock doesn't do that. Brock's made mistakes, and he's taken risks. But, again, it's how he elevates his game that's going to be essential, of course. And let's put it this way. The Niners are not accomplishing what they want to accomplish and expect to accomplish, and certainly are not winning their division if Brock Purdy is not on this list, this ESPN list a year from now. Like, Brock has to be amongst the top 10 quarterbacks in the league for the Niners to have a chance just because of the division that it shapes on, let alone making a Super Bowl run, which we know is always on the mind of Kyle Shanahan. So there's no doubt that Brock has to take a step up, but he's always been both elevated and undermined by the coach he plays for and the talent that's around him.
Right.
And all that talent around him, God bless him because we love him and we don't want to acknowledge Father Time, but McCaffrey's a year older. George Kittle's coming off of a horrific injury. And then on the defensive end, his two biggest defensive stars are coming off of pretty significant injuries. Brock, it's your team, man. Take it. Like, that's going to bring stress and excitement to every Sunday for the Niners.
Hey, it's a storyline we're going to watch throughout the entire season. I can't wait to see it unfold, and I hope he can just stay healthy enough where we can see the progression with him and some of these weapons around him.
Well, speaking of storylines, Kayla's got the biggest stories and headlines around the NFL today as training camps are literally starting this week. Kayla's 2-minute drill is next, plus a World Cup date for you. And then we go to Vegas for crosstalk with Whitey Gleason and the pool boy Alan Stiles.
Gosh.
He's probably still in a pool somewhere. It's Matt and Kayla on Sactown Sports.
SactownSports.com is your online home for sports in Sacramento. Dive deep into the Kings, 49ers, Raiders, Giants, Athletics, and more with your favorite local personalities and some of the most trusted sports voices in the community. Stream Sactown Sports 1140. Watch original video content and read in-depth analysis all in one location. SactownSports.com. your local sports leader. Sactown Sports 1140.
Meet Matthew Preston. Inside his apartment, everything he holds dear is protected by Progressive's Renter's Insurance, like his laptop and a surprisingly valuable collection of baseball bobbleheads. Outside his apartment, his laptop is still protected, as are his bobbleheads, which he carries around with him for reasons no one knows. Renters, the limits of protection aren't just the four walls of your home. When you're in Progressive's Protection Zone. Get a quote at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and third-party insurers.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Summer's finally here, and we're kicking it off with a whole lot of free. Free brake pads with Duralast rotors. Free oil filter with 5 quarts of oil. Free Armor All wipes with Armor All glass cleaner, and more. More free, so you can have more summer. Celebrate free at AutoZone. Now through July 27th. Restrictions apply.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Wow, what is all this? These screens, the food.
All for the game, bro.
Let us pitch in.
No need. I'm saving $1,000 bundling my wireless and internet with T-Mobile. I've got it all covered.
Goal! Here to score big with T-Mobile. Families save up to $1,000 a year when they bundle 5G home internet with 4 phone lines on Experience Beyond. Compared to regular rates after third line free on Experience Beyond plan with internet bundle discount via monthly bill credits and auto-pay discount. Credit stop if you cancel or change plans.
If you have unfiled taxes or are in debt to the IRS, this is important news. Did you know the IRS has programs specifically designed to help people struggling with tax debt? Powerful tax assistance programs that can save you thousands if you qualify. No one knows these programs better than the experts at Optima Tax Relief, America's most trusted tax resolution firm, A-rated by the Better Business Bureau. Their award-winning tax attorneys and licensed professionals have resolved over $3 billion of tax debt for their clients. One call to Optima can start the process, helping to put an end to your worries about wage garnishment, asset seizure, and other aggressive IRS actions. Find the best options to solve your tax problems. Call the experts at Optima Tax Relief today for a free consultation.
Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
And we're live from the living room as Doug eyes up the match day spread. He's reaching for the Buffalo wing. Perfect. Hang on, what's this? Oh, he's gone for a can of Pepsi too. Incredible. What a finish. Sensational combination. Look at the delight on his face. There's no doubt about it. It just tastes better. Match days deserve Pepsi. Food deserves Pepsi. Grab a pack of Pepsi Zero Sugar for today's match. It's poetry in motion.
Card collectors know there's nothing as special as a rare one-of-one card. And now you can hear a very rare one-of-a-kind sports card show right here on Sactown Sports. Whitey Gleason here inviting you to join me and Mr. True Sports Cards himself, Imran Pilati, for the True Sports Card Show every Saturday morning at 10 on Sactown Sports. It's the only sports card radio show in the nation. For all your hobby needs, get to True Sports Cards, 6661 Stanford Ranch Road in Rockland. And for hobby, insight, and fun, join us for the True Sports Card Show Saturday mornings at 10 on Sactown Sports.
It's time for the 2-minute drill. Kayla Anderson has the ball, and she's taking us around the world of football. It's Kayla's 2-minute drill on Matt and Kayla.
We've almost made it, Kayla. Training camps, rookies reporting this week.
Holy smokes, I can't believe it.
We're so close, and then training camps are going to start, and then we're going to realize, wait a minute, we're still months away from actual football, damn it. Not really months, but you know what I mean.
There's always those storylines, though, you know?
We get something at least.
We will. All right, let's start off this 2-minute drill with somebody that you just have been talking about with possibly signing with your Raiders.
Come on home, baby.
I don't know why nothing's happened. Well, I do know, because these vets especially, they wait till the last minute to really get it done. So I start with this. Are you digging it?
I see what you did there.
I thought that was a pretty good one.
Because
right?
of who? Who are you talking
about?
about?
That's right. Stephon Diggs is still a free agent. And this is just 2 weeks before the official start of the NFL training camps. So he comes out and says he thinks, in his opinion, he can compete with anybody. So much so that he believes he is better than anybody's current number 2 wide receiver on their roster.
That makes me laugh.
He is really selling himself, isn't he?
Listen, I like how self-conscious I love how aware he is enough to go, like, I'm not the best receiver in the league.
That's what I thought about.
I'm better than your second best option.
Yep.
You're damn right. I can be second best for your team. You know what?
That was funny.
Diggs, I like that. And you can be the second best in Las Vegas. Come on home, baby.
He's 32 years old.
Who cares?
And I get that. Like,
prime.
He proved last year that he could be that piece. This is the big thing for me. He could be that piece for a young quarterback in Drake May, who kind of needed a little bit of that veteran blanket feeling to whatever, Drake was growing as we saw the season go on.
Just a reliable
and
target
Diggs helped.
to bail you out.
Yeah, Diggs helped with that. And I know Kirk Cousins is starting in Las Vegas, but to have a guy like that on your team, as long as he's not taking anything away from off the field sometimes like Diggs does, I feel like then just focus on what you're doing on the field.
It's
and
Las
he's been
Vegas.
fine.
What's the worst that can happen?
Oh, geez, Louise.
Come on, nothing bad happens.
Sheesh.
Don't worry about that.
All right, so next up, this is a weird one in a way. Done deal. So this actually involved the San Francisco 49ers. When I read this initially, I was like, wait, is this for real? So the San Francisco 49ers limited partner, I don't know how to pronounce his name fully.
Vinod Khosla?
Yeah, Vinod Khosla has agreed to purchase the Seattle Seahawks. This was clearly, the family was part of their ownership stake in the 49ers, has been. Now, they have been required to relinquish any type of ownership with the 49ers because that would be
They'll sell that.
That would be a little bit weird. So the selling price, let's see here. Yeah, so $9.612 billion is a record for the NFL franchise of the Seattle Seahawks.
Goodness
That's
gracious.
insane.
Goodness gracious.
To think about that type of, that's how much these NFL teams especially.
And it's going to go
The
up.
value's gone up.
And
because
it's
they
gonna
just
go
keep
up.
bringing in more and more money with these
Yes.
TV contracts.
Oh, yeah.
And so it's just,
It's a very...
it's not going the different direction by any means. But when I first read this, I will be the first to say I was a little bit like, say what? The 49ers ownership group?
Hey, if you can't beat them, buy them. We can't beat
I
you.
guess so.
Hey, the hostile takeover is on the way. Now suddenly JSN was traded to the Niners.
I know.
What happened?
Whoa,
Oh
now.
no. How could that happen? How could that be? No, I did a double take too. I said the 49ers did what to who?
Yeah.
They bought who?
And
What happened?
I will say this. It's hard to get new ownership sometimes. And I think it's tough because you went from Paul Allen, who was such a dedicated owner and obviously passed away. And his sister just, didn't have that complete passion and didn't want to continue to pour that much in. So I know there's a lot of respect up there for how it all happened. I just hope the ownership doesn't go the opposite way because they've been lucky up there.
And having a minority owner of another team buy, that's very common. This happens a lot. I know it kind of confuses people when you see 49ers person buys Seahawks team. It's like, what?
Mm-hmm.
But, putting it by NBA standards, Vivek Ranadive was a minority owner in Golden State before he bought the Sacramento Kings.
Right.
And in a way, I don't have inside information on this, but I would imagine the NFL prefers to keep it in the family, so to speak, in the sense that, hey, you know how the game works. You're a minority owner, not a majority owner, so that's going to be different. But you know how the game works. You know what's expected of you versus someone just coming in and going,
You know
hey,
the division.
I'm rich and I got $9 billion. I'll
Yeah.
just buy this team because whatever the hell.
Mhm.
So this is...
like Portland's owner? Yeah.
Yeah, well.
Portland Timber.
Hey, this ain't the NHL.
Trailblazers.
Ain't the NHL guy.
Okay, big time Bucks here. We're talking about Adam Schefter of ESPN. It has been reported that he has reached a multi-year extension with the Four Letter Network.
Yay.
The senior NFL insider's last contract with ESPN was reportedly worth around $9 million per year. I can't even imagine what that's going to be. And then the other weird part about all this is they acquired the NFL Network. So they're acquiring a lot of the NFL Network's talent, including rival insider Ian Rappaport, who they just announced a deal with about a month ago.
Yeah.
The money they're giving out here to 5 or 6 people is insane.
But they're cornering the market. Now everybody has to come to ESPN for anything essentially football breaking news. They've cornered the market. This is the epitome of like if ESPN had.
There's nothing else really out there. What Fox Sports, but they don't have anything compared to this.
Right. If ESPN had Shams, Sam Amick, and who am I missing? Like Jake Fisher or something like that. Like that, they're just cornering the market, and or Chris Haynes would be another one. Like they're smart for doing it, but as we know, unfortunately with ESPN, Kayla, when a lot of money by ESPN is thrown at
layoffs are coming.
It means it's being taken from something else.
I know.
I just hope the domino isn't falling in another area. But
That's what sucks. Okay, last one. Big men deserve credit too. That is right. We're talking about offensive tackle. So we did the NFL rankings of the quarterbacks today.
Yep.
I do want to mention over the weekend, Jeremy Fowler put out the list in terms of top 10 offensive tackles by executives and coaches. Who do you think is at the top of that list, Matt?
Oh, God. Oh, jeez.
Think a team that we just talked heavily about because of a quarterback in the last segment.
Oh, okay, so Seahawks.
No.
Who am I?
I mean, it's a pretty grimy city. Fan bases don't win.
Seattle. Yeah, no, he's on it.
Well, no, because they win a lot, so it wouldn't matter.
Am I having a senior moment?
Where's Darius Acuff from?
Oh, Detroit.
Yeah.
The line. Oh, okay.
Penei Sewell
Yep.
of the Detroit Lions is ranked highest. He is number 1 on this ranking list. He was 2 last year. And coming in at number 2, he might be almost 40.
It's got to be Trent.
But it's Trent Williams. That is right.
I thought you were going to say it was Trent number 1, and I would have lost my mind. There's no way.
No, I mean, but to tell you the truth, at 37 years old, and by the way, Penei Sewell is 25. For Trent Williams to be on this list, he's 37 years old. He's coming back at least for a couple more years, it seems like. Yeah. That's impressive. That's impressive by the left tackle.
Where's Darnell Wright? Is he on the list?
So Tristan Wirfs is 3rd from the Bucks. Jordan Mailata is 4th from the Eagles. Laramie Tunsil is 5th by the Commanders. Darnell Wright coming in at 6 from the Chicago Bears. And then we rounded out with Lane Johnson, Andrew Thomas, Joe Alt of the Chargers, and Garrett Bowles of Denver.
No Deion Dawkins, huh?
No.
That kind of makes sense.
No Deion Dawkins. He is an honorable mention for the Buffalo Bills. Yes.
I guess, he would have been like.
But Trent Williams, let's go, man. 37, defying father of time.
I don't care. I can block into my 60s if I need to.
It's impressive.
Shout out Trent Williams. Really quick before we get to a very fast World Cup date, Joey's been kind enough to hang on hold for a while. What up, Joey?
Hey, what up, guys? Thank you for taking my call.
No problem.
Hey, Joey.
Really quick, I just wanted to talk about how you guys were talking about Brock Purdy and him staying healthy and whatnot. Every year as a 49er fan, I wish that through the draft they would pick and draft O-linemen to not only preserve McCaffrey, but preserve Brock Purdy. And he never does it. And everybody around the league, everybody who's a fan, sees it. And Shanahan is so stubborn, and it makes me mad. And he should have already won maybe 1 or 2 Super Bowls already, but because of his stubbornness, I feel it's blocked.
Oh, sorry, Joey. I didn't mean to cut you off there.
He's not wrong about the stubbornness, though. Well, I do see that.
And remember, when the Niners had a late first-round pick, a lot of people were thinking that's good territory for you to just snag one of these offensive linemen, and they chose to kick the can down the road a little bit. So, obviously, they got Stribling, and we'll see. And Shanahan loves his wide receivers. He has a very specific type for wide receivers. So, we'll see if the Stribling pick works out. But he makes a good point.
It's a good point,
you could have grabbed an offensive lineman late in that first round.
Eventually, you got to have them, man. They're the bread and butter. It starts up front. I completely agree with you. And when you keep on pushing that down the line, it can bite you in the butt at some point, for sure.
We have crosstalk with Whitey Gleason and Alan Stiles. They're getting all set up in their shiny Airbnb down there in Las Vegas, the Drive guys, for the next 4 hours. Looking forward to hearing from them. Before that, though, let's get to a really quick World Cup date for you. We are down 2-4. The quarterfinals they're in the semifinals now. The quarterfinals came to an end. It started over the weekend just before the weekend on Friday with Spain defeating Belgium 2-1. We saw that while we were on the air. Over the weekend, England ended Norway's run.
Boo!
No goal for Erling Haaland, but he had an amazing run in the World Cup. Norway is out. They lose to England 2-1. Jude Bellingham, though, scored both goals for England. He's had an incredible World Cup run. Chris, I didn't even realize this. I saw this morning, that all the goal scorers for England, none of them play in the Premier League. I had no clue about that. I didn't realize that so much of their top goal-scoring talent was not playing in the EPL. Argentina keeps their run alive. They defeated and dominated Switzerland 3-1, even though Messi didn't score any of those 3 goals. Didn't have to. Argentina got the win, so the semifinals are set. You have the battle of the 2 juggernauts, the top 2 teams in terms of the odds to win heading into the World Cup. France versus Spain is at noon tomorrow at AT&T Stadium in Arlington. And then England versus Argentina
there we go.
In Atlanta at noon on Wednesday. Winners go to the World Cup final. Losers will play in essentially the losers bracket final match.
Should be
so
good.
We get 4 matches left of the World Cup, and we'll enjoy it as much as we can. We'll also enjoy speaking with Whitey Gleason and Alan Stiles. Crosstalk with Whitey and Alan, the Drive Guys, is next from Las Vegas right here on Sactown Sports.
Take Sactown Sports with you everywhere you go with the Sactown Sports app. The most in-depth coverage of the Kings and 49ers. A library of written and video content. And all your favorite personalities all in one place. Download the Sactown Sports app today and get in on the action. Your local sports leader. Sactown Sports 1140.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Ask yourself this question. Is it really worth holding on to that timeshare that you know you need to get rid of? Here's the truth. The average maintenance fee just went up over 17%. That could have been 117%, and there's nothing you can do about it. When you buy a timeshare, you give them a blank check for annual maintenance and assessment fees. I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group. For 15 years, I've helped over 50,000 families cancel their timeshare. Not sell it, not transfer it, cancel it. Did you buy a timeshare because they told you it was a great investment and your maintenance fees would never go up? That's a lie. Are you ready to get rid of your timeshare once and for all? Simply call us and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit that explains all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your timeshare exit kit. 800-822-1490. That's 800-822-1490. 800-822-1490.
Hey, this is Jelly Roll. As many of you know, my song Winning Streak is about my own personal struggles with addiction. I first sought help for my addiction at 14 years old. Start your recovery journey. Choose a proven addiction treatment option that's right for you at ChooseChangeCA.org. The real you is worth recovering. Choose Change California provides access to proven treatment options for addiction to opioids and stimulants. ChooseChangeCA.org. This is your chance to recover your life.
Capital Casino is conveniently located in downtown, 411 16th Street, and has been a part of the greater Sacramento area for over 20 years. They offer the best variety of games in the region in a safe and friendly environment, and there's plenty of parking, all well lit and monitored by security. Come have a great meal at the cafe and restaurant inside. Capital Casino has the best food, the best service, and the best action. But please always remember to gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
Is the volatility of the stock market driving you crazy? Is your retirement account sinking, yet you're getting older? And you're starting to worry about, will I have enough for retirement? What about the money in the bank? These banks pay nothing these days. How do we get growth to get to retirement account? It's simple. Move into gold and silver. Want to know how to do it? Listen to my show, Striking Gold, with me, Kenny Michaels.
Maida Subaru says yes to big savings on the new Subaru you want during the sizzling summer sales event on now. Visit MaidaSubaru.com today for special spring savings on over 225 new and certified pre-owned Subarus.
Made a great deal at Maida.
Country in the Park 2, presented by your California Army National Guard, October 23rd at Heart Health Park at Cal Expo with Bailey Zimmerman, Russell Dickerson, Plus more. Enjoy line dancing, live DJs, mechanical bull, and food trucks. Tickets start at just $70. Country in the Park 2, October 23rd at Hart Health Park at Cal Expo with Michelob Ultra, the California Office of Traffic Safety, and Caltrans. More info at CITPfest.com.
Whether it's date night, family night, or buddy night, Hagen Oaks has a bay for you. Reserve one of 3 Top Tracer bays from 6 to 11 p.m. through HagenOaks.com, and only those 3 bays are reservable. The rest of the driving range is still open for walk-ups. Play golf on world-famous courses while the kids try interactive games. Head to the Hangout for great food, cold drinks, and live sports on the TVs. Add monthly live music and putting tournaments, and you've got more than a driving range, you've got a night out. Hagen Oaks Golf Complex. Swing by and swing away.
George and Kayla Anderson on Sactown Sports 1140.
And as we prepare to say bon voyage for the day, we're also welcoming in our Sactown Sports crew, the Drive guys, Whitey Gleason, Alan Stiles, who are in Las Vegas. First off, just want to confirm, Alan, you have a shirt on, right? Like,
yes.
Okay, thank
for
God.
now.
All right,
Because he
good.
did it in his video earlier.
I'm glad Al. I mean, we wake up this morning and open Twitter. Oh, I wonder what the Sactown Sports crew. Oh, Alan's in the pool already. Okay. I was promised Whitey.
Getting in his laps.
I was promised Whitey poolside, not Alan freaking Stiles. So I feel gypped a little bit.
That was just an Allen special, 4 miles, 7:30 a.m. and just felt like cooling off in a pool. It's a beautiful pool, a beautiful resort that we're at. I mean, we're making it our own. Right. We're going to go to Sporting Goods after this, go grab some footballs, frisbees. Oh. We're going to have a little bit of a mini Olympics out here as well.
Oh, okay, cool.
Oh yeah, and we just booked our tea time for Wednesday. So and we got some good baseball going on. Or excuse me, basketball.
Okay,
it's a lot of sports.
So
All-Star, home run derby, you know.
Alan, when are you working?
Right now.
Oh, okay, got it. Cool. just
but
making sure.
Between breaks, he can go take a dip.
Yeah,
you know?
there you go.
And I will.
It's right there.
And
this
I
is
will.
a massive compound.
It's so nice.
Yeah, it's very nice. It doesn't quite feel like home, though,
Yeah.
because I don't have any of Matt's food left laying around.
He left his apples, Whitey.
Hey, I just cleaned up my pizza. Don't worry about it, all right? Don't worry about it.
Oh, my goodness.
Hey, so I don't want to lead the witness too much because I'm sure you guys are going to talk about it on the air. I heard you had quite the travel day yesterday, huh?
It's going to happen at this level. Yeah, we were just on the ground in Sacramento for a long time because of some issue with like the app or something for the plane. And as Jay said, just make sure you get it right. We don't need to take off until you have that squared away. So we got in a little later than anticipated, and we're not able to catch the entirety of the contest, but we did see a good portion and had a good time.
Well, you got there for some of it at least, and what did you enjoy? What was the view inside of the Thomas and Mack Center? Because not everything translates through the TV. What were you guys able to see from your courtside position?
Oh, man, I mean, you walk in, and as soon as you pull in to the parking lot, obviously the energy is just out of this world, and you see all the different fans and all the jerseys. We talked to so many Kings fans, just very excited, and it was just an energy that I felt, Whitey, as the game was going on. We got to go down courtside and talk with some of the other media members. We had some conversations that we can't totally talk about, right? Some anonymity, but yeah, just a lot of great energy. And the biggest thing for me was
I didn't feel the same energy. I'm sorry.
I did.
As soon as we arrived in the parking lot?
Yeah. As soon as we got in the parking lot, we got a great parking spot. You did a great job parking the
Jay
rental
did
car.
a good job kind of arranging a spot for us.
It was a team event. And then we got in the building, saw the score. We were a little surprised. And then we blinked. We met up with some people. We saw Draper. We had to say what's up to Draper.
We saw the commissioner.
We saw the commissioner,
Nice.
yes. And he was in the way. We're trying to get to the post game. I said, Adam, hey man, I'll talk to you later. We got to get to the post game of the Kings. But the biggest thing for me, Matt and Kayla, was the fact that the Kings, they didn't just give up, right? They didn't roll over. You look up, and even though they were down big, they did find a way to make a game out of it. They just didn't happen. You got to understand, and we're going to talk to Jason Thompson, a lot of people that have been in this and done this. this is like pickup basketball. You know what I mean? They're having practices, maybe not pickup per se. There's a lot of, hey, Kayla, I saw your nephew won the championship. Congrats to him.
Thank you.
But it's very similar to tournament basketball or AAU, where you don't get a lot of time together. So you're going to see some of that sloppiness. So the biggest thing for me was them showing heart and not giving up. But great vibes for me. I don't know about Whitey. The Heat film was there, but yes.
It's great because it's like a festival of basketball. And as Alan mentioned, he compared what's going on to an AAU game. They have AAU tournaments going on here. And you also have kind of the melding of the college game, because you've got the new players coming in. They haven't actually played games yet, and the pro game. And, they're keeping score, and the competition is fierce between the top players. But there's just people from all over basketball celebrating the game. And that was the energy that I felt.
Definitely.
Maybe that's the energy that you're alluding
That's
to.
right. That's right.
So that's a question. I want to get all the juicy information. So what's like the biggest, I guess, who have you run into so far, or I don't know, the biggest conversation you've had so far down in Vegas? I know you've only been there for like less than 24 hours.
See, that's a tough one for Alan, I know, because most people say him. So
That's right.
I ran into Alan Stiles.
That's right.
Yeah,
That's right. They were calling our names when we were walking around. It ended up
Chanting.
just being Draper. But at the time, we were very excited that it was happening.
Literally, someone saw us and said, "Hey, Alan." And I thought, I wonder why they didn't say my name. And then I realized, okay, if you're in an arena in Las Vegas, you don't want to shout my name. So anyway, I understood that. And the person actually messaged me, and I said, yeah, I figured that's what it was.
That's really funny.
Yeah, and they tagged both of us in it. But
yeah.
The biggest convo that I had, and like I said, I can't fully disclose the information that came out of it, but it does seem like the LeBron James situation is all but resolved. It's just a matter of time. That was the biggest one that I had.
Alan's sources were like cockroaches downstairs at our station. I mean, as soon as we got up the elevator. And then, I'll ask Alan something like, hey, what did you hear about this or that? And instead of saying, this person told me that, or that person told me this, he has to go, well, I've had conversations. I said, I know. Can you just tell me what you learned? So, a lot going on.
Yeah. The other thing, too, and we're going to talk about this on the show, when it comes to picks and how aggressive the Kings should be, and one of those people we had this conversation with will be on the show in Kristen Peak. When it comes to those types of conversations and how aggressive the Kings should be with picks, those draft classes, you'll notice a trend with what's getting traded. 2027, everything before 2030, it ain't looking great. It ain't looking great, and you'll notice that moves that are being made are specifically happening before 2030. So if you are in the camp of trading for a player that you like and is a bit proven, go ahead and hop in that trade machine, grab that 2027 or 2028, and have some fun, because apparently they gonna stink. That's what the deal is.
By the way, I'm looking up here right now. The deal's not even official yet. Kawhi Leonard's sitting courtside watching Toronto right now. So, I mean, the deal's not maybe done, but I think it is.
And the NBA staring at him with a magnifying glass, investigating him right now, waiting for a decision to make about what his punishment might look like for the LA Clippers scandal. What a weird saga that is. Guys, before we fully pass the torch to you in Las Vegas, I'm aware there are probably two different answers to this question for each of you, because I know I'm going back and forth between the selfish answer and maybe the correct answer. But do you think we've seen enough of Maxime Raynaud? Was one game enough, or should he keep playing in the Summer League?
I want him to play more just to get more time on the court with Acuff, but you can certainly make the strong argument that we've seen enough, but I would like him to play at least one more game.
Get him out of there. I'm not one to say, well, what about them because they're doing this, but because the Pelicans are not an organization to model yourself after, at least not right now. But when Derek Queen and a bunch of dudes are not playing, Maxime Raynaud does not need to be playing. He really doesn't. And I think he's shown enough. It's beautiful that he was out here. He's playing with Team France. Then he's coming back out here. Then he's got another game.
I think he
France.
had said during his interview last week that I'll probably play the next couple games. Obviously, that could change based on how well he played last night. But initially, he was looking at a couple games. So.
He's
I want to see it.
No, it's good enough. Did see him. And I know some people saw my picture on social media. Did see him speaking with one Domantas Sabonis. And, obviously they have a lot of things in common. Who knows what they were speaking about, but, that's a dynamic I don't know that we've talked so much about because it's all about move Domas. But we might, the closer we get to the season, we might be starting to discuss how this thing could work together more than we have so far.
Are you telling me your sources don't know exactly what was said in that conversation yet, Alan, or you just can't disclose it?
You'll have to find out.
Okay,
Oh,
there you go.
What a tease.
More teasing and
Shirtless broadcast.
Shirtless Alan Styles while Whitey Gleason tries to keep it all together. Guys, looking forward to it. You got a jam-packed show. Eric Musselman, Jason Thompson, Kristen Peak joining you guys, and that's just day one. You guys are there all week long. We're looking forward to seeing all the great content that you and the entire crew do out there. Enjoy it. Stay safe. We miss you guys, but we're holding it down here. Don't worry, Whitey. My pantry will be full by the time you get back, so don't worry about it.
Yeah.
All right, the Drive guys are taking it up for the next 4 hours all the way up until 6 p.m. from Las Vegas. Kayla and I will be back at 10 a.m. tomorrow. Shout out to Christopher Laud for helping us out today and holding it down. The Drive guys next right here on Sactown Sports.